What is up, YouTube? What is up, Facebook? Jimmy Jamz back in the house. Tonight, we're going over some more stuff. Gabby, PETITO, Brian, Laundrie. We're going to be talking about Dog the Bounty Hunter a little bit tonight. If you're just tuning in, I see a bunch of you guys jumping in to the chat room already. It is good to see each and every one of you guys. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm just finished setting up the stream. Countdown is on. Okay, so Dog the Bounty Hunter and a lot of the callers that have been calling into the channel are starting to believe that Brian Laundrie is a serial killer, right? You know, we jokingly talked about it. Maybe he killed these two TikTokers. Maybe the other guy they had found, and people believe he may be a serial killer. Well, Dog the Bounty Hunter also believes that the man is a serial killer. So real quick, we're going to listen to the audio from Dog the Bounty Hunter. Guys, make sure you let me know if you can hear this. But this is Dog basically talking about
I hope the jury that
sentences
him doesn't get a chance to see what he's like. The books that he read are serial killer books.
Serial killer book.
I'm thinking more and more about him being maybe a serial killer, not just a killer of Gabby. The books he read are unbelievable. I would get mad at my kids back in the day when they were young for reading Dungeons and Dragons because I'm a believer in Jesus. And I told my kids, I ever see that book in this house.
Can y'all hear that?
Got a problem. Now, this book that he's reading, a couple of them are 10 times worse than Dungeons and Dragons. And I don't blame the author for that because that's what he does for a living, is writes weird books like that. But this kid, Brian, has taken those books obviously to heart. And this is what happens when your kid is looking at those kind of things and the parent catches them and it's demons and it's blood and it's this and it's that. Look what that led to. He just overnight just didn't become a killer. A killer is made, and he is built to be, or she, a killer. He built himself to be that by looking at that kind of, let's say, the dark side stuff. And I call it what it was, demonic. There's pictures of demons all over there.
Think that's impressive?
Okay, there you have it. Dog the Bounty Hunter talking about, the books that Brian Laundrie was reading were demonic. And he believes that people that read these things may go and do horrible things, right? So, was Brian Laundrie a serial killer? I didn't believe it. I believe he was just, books made him do it, says Jake. Well, I mean, I don't think the books made him do it, but it's like anything else. If you fantasize about something for so long, eventually you're going to act on it. And there's a lot of people that say that about serial killers, that, that they sit around and they fantasize, and eventually one day they actually went out and acted on those fantasies. Now, Brian Laundrie, this dude, okay, he was going out, staying in the woods by himself for months at a time or weeks at a time, living off the land, just disappearing. You know who else does that? Serial killers do that. That's some serial killer type stuff. All right, let's take this call. Oh, well, we missed it. For some reason, everything seems really low to me tonight. Like the volume is really low. I'm not for sure. Okay, let me pull this video up that I was looking for. But, like I said, if you're out there and you're reading these books and you're fantasizing about killing people, the next thing you know, your girlfriend's dead. Now, if he was just reading serial killer books and these like fantasy books, like a dog likes to say, like Dungeons and Dragons or something of that nature, demonic books, it would have been fine. if he was reading those books if he didn't act on it. But he actually acted on these Jamz TV, Dolly Vision. Hello.
Yo, what's up?
What's up?
How's it going, man?
It's going pretty good. How about yourself?
Chilling. Just been, following the case like you. Man, I came across your channel at some point this week, and I've been following you like all week, like really enjoying your coverage of it.
I appreciate it, man.
You keep it real. Yeah. No, I was calling because I got several things that I kind of wanted to say. And then I saw your topic for tonight, which was kind of this whole he's a serial killer thing. And I mean, I don't know. I'm just going straight up, like, I'm not very religious. And the way I just saw that video of Dog, like, he's reading way too much into it. Like, I've seen a bunch of pictures of Brian Laundrie reading, like, Chuck Palahniuk books. And, like, let's be real, like, everybody reads Chuck Palahniuk. Like, Chuck Palahniuk books, like, Chuck Palahniuk's, like, one of the top 10 most popular authors.
I've never
right
even
now.
heard
Like,
of him. I've never, honest to
like,
God, I've never heard of the guy.
He wrote Fight Club. Like,
oh, he wrote
he's the
Fight
author-
Club?
Yeah.
Okay,
like,
well, I've seen Fight Club. It's a good-ass movie.
Yeah, he wrote Fight Club and Coke, and I mean, there's a bunch of books. So I remember, like, when I was in high school, and like, I'm 34, and like, I remember, like, when I was growing up, like, everybody was reading Chuck Palahniuk, like, because he wrote some fucked up. Like, I'm sorry, but like, he wrote some effed up stuff. Like, I mean,
yeah.
It's edgy, and like, I mean, dude, like, I listen to like all kinds of stuff, and like, I don't know, I like Tool and like weird like art, but like, I don't mean that I'm like like satanic or like want to be a serial killer. So like, I just feel like he's reaching a little bit too much. I think his tips might be drying up a little bit, but I do think that he did kill those other women though. I'm not. It can be the same thing and not the same thing at the same time. So like, after revisiting the footage of that van riding up, and you see the van door close, everyone's seen it now, and there is what everybody was like pointing, like, oh, look off in the distance, you see a person, and oh, look over here on the tree, and you see a whatever on the tree, and it's like, no. But if you look past the sandals, there is what looks to me, and I'm not no conspiracy nut. I don't think the hands, he's under the damn basement and his hands are coming out of the garden. And
yeah,
like,
I know. I've been reading about that.
Y'all need to chill. Like, I mean, I'm not talking to you, but I'm talking about everybody else. Y'all need to chill with that. Y'all are getting close to like QAnon with that shit, okay? He is not into the basement or whatever in the garden. But when you look at that footage though of where they're passing by the van, it does look like a gun.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they had a gun. If you're out there traveling out,
he for sure had a gun, for sure. But hold on, and then so when you look at the crime scene, and there's what I saw one of the photos. They had them numbered, all the little things that they had tagged. And they had the highest number I saw was like 22 or 21. And you don't have 21 pieces of evidence around a crime scene if he choked someone or if he hit her over the head with a rock, or, you know what I'm saying?
So you thinking he shot her?
Yeah.
I've been leaning towards that too.
And when you look, it looked like she was probably running from him. And so you have blood spatter, you have blood dripping down. So those are all indicators of more than just like him hitting her over the head or pushing her and her hitting her head with a rock, which is what I originally thought.
Yeah, that they started fighting and she hit the ground and somehow ended up dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that makes a lot of sense too, because they were already fighting.
See, and I have another theory, and this is just a little theory of mine, and I just thought I haven't heard anybody bring this up or anything, but I'm like, okay, so check it out. So he flew back to Florida to go unpack this locker for whatever reason. So they're broke. They ain't got no money or anything. He's living off of her credit cards and shit, and like to support their like van life thing. But somehow have enough money he can go fly. Like I live in Louisiana now, but I used to live in Denver, and like my family's in Louisiana, and I mean it's expensive flying.
Yeah.
And
Plus,
you know, and he's
the
got
hotel they had to put Gabby in too. He put Gabby in a hotel and flew back.
Yeah, so this goes to my theory though. So I'm wondering. Okay, we already know and I'm sorry, I'm about to cuss, but we all know he's a piece of shit. So you know, Gabby knew it, and he's been up her ass this whole fucking like 2 months. They've been traveling. They've been all up under each other for 2 months. He's been like beating, you know, abusing her, talking down to her, making sure she don't go out of his
All right,
sight.
Brittany
Like,
said his dad paid for his flight. That's what Brittany
okay.
says in the chat.
Well, and I've heard your theory that you think that like he might have a side chick or something, and like I get that, but he's street. He's from the street. this dude.
You got to be from the streets to have a side chick.
I'm just saying, like he's not like I don't get the vibe he's like that. He's not a player, you know. Like,
I don't know.
He's not playing. He's probably lucky as hell to score Gabby, and he don't want to let her go. He's been got obsessive over her.
Well, he apparently he wanted to let her go. He killed her. He wanted to let her completely go, like forever, ever.
So this is a little theory I have, and I don't know. I might piss some people off by saying this, and it may not be anything and whatever. But I haven't heard anybody mention this, probably because they're scared to mention it. But look, like I've been to Bonnaroo about 10 times. I've been to Burning Man. I've been to these music festivals a lot. And Gabby reminds me of one of them friendly girls that you run into at a music festival. They're friendly. They meet friends. They make friends everywhere they go.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if while he went to Florida to go do this lawsuit, he might have met some new dude or girl or whatever, hung out, because we already know she didn't want to be alone. But who's to say maybe she was comfortable? She might have been comfortable enough to go back to that cafe. The what was it called? The Moon. The cafe that they were arguing in front of, that one of the other chicks like worked at that got.
Yeah, that's I don't know the name of it, but it's the one of the TikTokers.
Yeah, so, like, I mean, I'm just saying, like maybe I don't think she may. I'm not convinced she sat in that hotel the whole time. Maybe she was like, hey, shit, he's not up my ass this whole time. I'm gonna go work on my blog at this cafe.
Okay, and what do you think? She met somebody and somebody else murdered him?
No, what? No. I'm saying, what if she like met some other dude or some chick, hung out with him a couple of nights, and built up a connection with him, and because she's being abused by this asshole, you know, what if she like, I don't know, I'm just saying, like, what if she like hooked up with someone else while he was going out of town, and then when he got back, what if she did, like, what if there's something left behind that he saw and was like, you cheated on me, and flipped out and murdered her? You know, like, what if there's some evidence left behind? Dude, I don't know.
Yeah, like
sock or something.
Yeah, dude left his Reeboks over there, his Birkenstocks and something, some sandals, some Jesus. Slippers.
And that's not a jab at her. She should be trying to get away from this dude. I'm just saying though, I can see it. I could see that happening where maybe. Yeah,
but what if it's the other way around? What if Gabby was going through his phone?
Here comes some fun dude or chick like hanging out with me, and we're talking. We go a couple of days. We go hiking together. We get to know each other, and then next thing you know, bada bing, bada boom, and then bam, and then somehow Brian's ass finds out about it when he gets back, and then he's livid because this is the thing I see with Brian. He looks like a controlling person, but I don't I don't necessarily see a killer in him in the footage when they were pulled over. However, that doesn't mean that is not there. All I'm saying is I feel like something had to trigger him, and I don't think it was his OCD. I mean, her OCDness that triggered it. Something pushed him over the edge that made him go to that next level and actually kill it. And what's the number one call for like boyfriend killing a girlfriend? Like when it like
craziness.
Cheating. I mean, yeah, but probably cheating. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like,
what if it was the opposite way though? What if Brian the whole time's had another little squeeze in California or something, and he's been talking. Now he's done killed Gabby, and this girl is helping him. You're breaking up. I think I'm losing you.
I'm
all right. So, yeah, you got to get closer to your Wi-Fi when you call in or something. But it could be that Gabby could have met somebody, but I think Gabby would be scared to go out by herself. A young girl somewhere she's not from, by herself, and she didn't really like to be by herself. Now, what if he had a girlfriend from back in the day? Jamz TV, Dolly Vision.
What's up, Jamz?
What's up? Who's this? Where you calling from?
It's Fresh from Philly.
Fresh, what's good with you?
Hey, man, long time no talk.
Yeah, I know. How you been?
Man, I've been all right, man. But look, I got a question for you. I remember back when I was younger, like, Dog was that dude. Like, how Dog ain't catch him yet?
I mean, I don't know. The dude, he might be in a damn wilderness that's 5 states long. It's kind of hard. He could be up under a shrub in a bush somewhere.
What's up with his team? He got his team all back together?
Well, I mean, he ain't got the original team together, but he got some new people, because his old lady died.
Yeah, I remember. I know Beth died.
Yeah, so, he ain't got Beth. The kids, some of them hate him, and then the other ones, some of them still mess with him.
Yeah, I didn't know. I haven't followed him in a while, so.
Yeah, so, I mean, what do you think about the case? This dude guilty, Fresh?
I mean, I know for a fact the dude's guilty, but I haven't really followed it. I've just caught pieces lately because I started following you again. So I've just caught pieces, but I really don't know too much about the case. That's why I'm watching, because I wanted to know about it a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's basically, a story about a couple that were traveling across the country, living in a van, right? One day they get pulled over by the police. They had been fighting, okay? And then about a week later, the girl comes up dead, and the boyfriend shows back up in Utah, and he shows back up in Florida. That. He shows back up in Florida with the van, but no girlfriend. And now now he's on the run. He's just gone. He vanished.
Oh yeah. So come on now, let's put 2 and 2 together. We're not dumb now. We all know what happened.
Yeah, he done killed the girl, and now he's on the run. But like it's crazy, because if there was a situation where he was beating on the girl and the police stopped him, right? And she had marks on her. She was crying, and the police didn't arrest him. Like any other.
I'm wondering why the cops let him go that time then.
I don't know. I have no clue, but he should have went to jail. And if he would have went to jail, this girl might still be alive, kind of thing.
100%. 100%.
You know what I'm
so
saying?
You already know somewhere down the line, the family's going to have a lawsuit against the cops that let him go because in reality, they didn't do their job. Now, I'm not saying it's right because we don't know that circumstances. We don't know what happened that day. For all we know, do we know if she gave him an alibi that day? Did she say that he didn't hit her?
No, he said that he grabbed her by the face, but she also said she hit him.
Okay, so she was kind of defending him. So it was more like a domestic that day.
Definitely a domestic. They should have went to jail. Both went to jail for domestic violence. Her and him.
Right. And then maybe the family step in.
Yeah.
And say, this guy is no good for you. Maybe he was using her.
Definitely, because after he killed her, he took her credit cards, and right now he's wanted for the credit card fraud. They haven't charged him with the murder of Gabby yet. Just the credit card fraud for using her credit card after they believed she was dead.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, so Go ahead.
So they have this huge manhunt, like never before seen, like manhunt going on for credit card fraud. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even murder yet. It's just credit card fraud. But everybody knows, of course, he murdered her. And once they get him, I guess they're just trying to build that case. So when they get him, it sticks for the murder, you know.
Yeah, because this case been all over the news lately.
Everywhere, all over this.
Yeah,
It's reached global.
Yeah, it's something to talk about, right? After this pandemic lifts, well, we all know it's not going anywhere. So
Yeah, so, and you know, the dude's on the run. A lot of people, you know, are having sightings of him. Like he's like Bigfoot at this point, Fresh. He's like Bigfoot. Everybody's seeing him everywhere.
listen, and the weather's changing. So you know how it is when the weather changes. It gets colder, a lot more places to hide.
Yeah, well, you can hide, but let's say he's an outdoorsman, so a lot of people believe he's on the Appalachian Trail. But when you're outdoors in the summertime, you don't need a fire. But when you're outdoors in the wintertime, you're going to need heat. And to have heat, that means there's fire. And where there's fire, there's smoke. And it's the wrong, you know, somebody sees smoke, they might think something's on fire. You go investigate, and bam, next thing you know, you hemmed up by the FBI.
Yeah, but if he's an outdoorsman, you know those guys, Jamz, they're good. Those outdoorsmen, man, with technology nowadays, there's so many different things he could be doing.
He might be in a hole somewhere like Saddam. Remember they thought Saddam was like hiding somewhere and he was in a damn hole with an AK-47?
Look, and as long as he doesn't stay on a registered phone, he's good. He's good.
Yeah, but even if he gets a dummy phone and he don't get rid of it quick, you know they're tapping everybody he knows. So if he calls,
everybody, he can't call anybody.
Yeah, he can't call anybody
on his own.
Yeah,
but
so
I mean,
once he uses that burner phone
to call,
once he uses that burner phone one time, he has to throw it away.
Yeah, they're pinging it automatically.
Yeah, they're pinging it just to see where them calls are coming from. So, I mean, I don't know. I think if the family has plenty of money, they done gave him some money and he's hid up in like one of these little trap hotels somewhere. I don't think he's in the woods and shit like everybody thinks.
Oh, he comes from money?
Yeah, he comes from money.
Oh man, listen, it's gonna be really hard then.
Yeah,
he comes from a little bit of money. It's gonna be really hard, and he got a head start. It's gonna be really hard.
Yeah. And you know, so many people are like, yo, he can't be in a hotel. He ain't, you know, he would have to use his ID. I'm like, man, you walk into one of these little shitty crack hotels.
Yep.
You know?
Yep, they don't ask for none of that. You walk into one of them rinky-dink joints in the country, you already know how it is, Jan.
Yeah, you be like, look, I ain't got my ID, but I got an extra $100. I'll throw you out there. All right, you in room 7.
All you gotta do is send a trick in. All you gotta do is pull up on a truck stop, have a trick going for him.
Yeah, that too. You know what I'm saying? Rent the room for it, kick some crackhead chick some money, and be like, look, I'll give you this $200. You go over there and rent me that room for a week.
Somebody, you know, there's plenty of people out there that don't pay attention to the news.
I know. There's a lot of people that don't have no clue about it. I was talking about it at work, and people were like, who's that? Like, I was like, y'all watch the news? And they're just like, yeah, but we don't. I ain't heard about that.
No, listen, everything's on the internet now. You know that.
Yeah. You know, so the internet crazy with it right now. You know, there's a lot of conspiracies, and people think he's in the damn flower garden. You know, they said they seen a hand come out the flower. People say anything on these damn YouTube streets, man.
I'll be dying up here now.
You know what I'm saying? When I seen that, I was like, there's no way this man is hiding in the flower garden at his house. But I guarantee that video got 1 million views. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make a video that says he's hiding in the mailbox and see how many people watch it. Clickbait. Brian Laundrie hiding in his mailbox. You know, I mean, it's just ridiculous, but people might click on it. Have a little hand coming out the mailbox. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Grabbing a letter. You know, I don't know.
Oh, look, and it's Halloween time.
And it's Halloween time. Yeah. So on Halloween, he'll be able to walk around with a mask on, you know. He can walk around with a mask on anyway. It's forever Halloween.
Listen, listen, Jamz. If he plays it smart, he can be out there for a long, long time.
Yeah, I know. The last dude that went on the run in the Appalachian Trail, it took them 5 years to catch him.
Look at that.
I just wanted to throw that out there to people, just for some. He's not the first dude to run to the Appalachian Trail to hide. The last dude, like I said, it took the federal authorities 5 years to catch the guy. I forget his name, but you can look it up. Last dude, 5 years. So if you think about it like that, if you're on the run, you can go, well, I know I got me a good at least 5 years before they're going to catch me. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be talking about this for a long time, right? Because I said I was gonna stay on this till they catch him. But then again, if he's in the Appalachian Trail, I might be dead time they catch this guy.
Jamz, is like this for me. With evolution, right? Everything evolves, right? So you said it took the last guy 5 years, right? If that guy's as smart as that last guy, maybe a little smarter, right? What do you think? All right, this was 5 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was 5 years ago, exactly how long ago it was. I was just reading a story about it, and they said the last dude that had went on to run in the Appalachian Trail, it took federal authorities over 5 years to catch him. And I was thinking, damn, that ain't like 5 months. That ain't like a year and a half. That's 5 years.
Hey, Jimmy, and think about this now, right? With all the new shows out, all the new shit on the internet, technology, this dude, he probably got all types of shit in his head right now.
I can only imagine what's going through his brain. I know if I was him, I'd be sleeping with one. I couldn't sleep. I'd be done stayed up for 2 straight weeks.
Sleep. Listen, he must have a big bottle of Xanax.
Or he's a serial killer. Listen to this, Fresh. Listen. This dude goes off on his own for months at a time, disappears into the woods. Okay? I ain't saying there's nothing wrong with that. Some people do that. But there's also some other people that do that, and that's serial killers. Where are we at? Oh, I was camping. Really, he was out hacking up women all over the country. You know what I'm saying?
Jeffrey Dahmer.
And like Dog said, a killer just don't become a killer like that. It's usually build up to this. There's some escalation, unless he did it in the heat of the moment killing,
Now, for me, Jimmy, it depends on the gruesomeness of it. If it was a real gruesome crime, odds are...
We don't know, though. Nobody knows. The FBI won't release it.
Oh, they haven't released any...
No, they just said her death is homicide, but won't give the cause of death at all.
Oh, wow. Yeah, see, so we don't know what's going on. See, I'm happy I caught it on I'm happy I got here with you then. Because, yeah, this is going to be a nice ride then.
Yeah. So they're withholding that. So right now, I guess the killer is the only person that knows how Gabby PETITO...
Somebody needs to take a trip to the Appalachian Trail. I'm not doing it.
You know what the reward is, though, Fresh?
What is?
If you want to get some horses together, 200,000.
Hey, Jimmy, what's up, man? Me and you, we out there.
You know what I'm saying? It'd be like like Young Guns, regulators. We just get some horses.
Look. You can call Buddha, maybe BJ. We're out there.
You know what I'm saying? Just mob up and just go out there. You might get lucky. Might be like, there might be gold in those hills.
Listen, for 200,000, I'm with it.
That's what I said. I was like, shit, it goes up a little bit more. I'm going to start putting me a posse together to see, try my luck.
Give me about 2 weeks to stockpile some money and some equipment. And if the reward goes up, listen, I'm game. Grab some 10.
I mean, is that a dead or alive reward? I know this ain't the old Wild West day. I know there's a $200,000 reward on it. I think that's leading to the rest of them. I mean, how much if we just bring his dead body on horseback like the old days? Can we get a little more, or is that less? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Yeah, you would have to find out that information for us. You're the internet guy.
Yeah, if you shot him unarmed, right? If you shot this dude and he's wanted for murder, I wouldn't have to
shoot him unarmed.
Here's the question. Maybe we can ask everybody in the chat room this, and maybe somebody can answer this for me. Say I was outside and I seen Brian Laundrie and I pulled out a gun. I was like, hold up, man. You a killer. And he goes to run and I shoot him, right? And he dies. Right? No, I'm just saying. I shoot him. This is a hypothetical. I shoot him and he dies. Okay? Do I go to prison for murder?
No, I don't think so. As long as you stand there, right, and you say you were trying to make a citizen arrest, because remember, it's about premeditation. You didn't premeditate to try to kill him. You're going out there to try to capture him. If you're licensed, are you licensed to carry?
Yeah.
All right, so you're licensed to carry, right? So you're allowed to have it for protection. Now you see him, like you said, if you say free, you're a killer. We all know you're a killer. And he goes to run and you shoot him in the leg and he bleeds out. And we stand there. I don't think you're going to jail at all, Jimmy. And if you go, trust me, you're coming right out.
Somebody said he's innocent to proven guilty. So if I shoot him, then he could never be proven guilty. So then he's innocent, and I would be the guilty party that took his life, and then we would never know who. He could never be no prosecution for the Gabby thing, right? So I'd be the culprit. I think they'd put me in jail.
Yeah, I don't know how to. Like I said, if you stand there, it's not like you're fleeing the scene though.
Yeah, I mean, but you still just killed a dude. You know what I'm saying? That hasn't been convicted.
I mean,
yet.
but as of right now, he's on the run for homicide.
Well, he's on the run for credit card fraud, not homicide.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
So hold up, Dog the Bounty Hunters chasing him down for credit. Well, yeah, that's what he used to hunt people down for. No wonder you can't catch him. He really wasn't any good back then. We just thought he was because he had a nice team and he was chasing crackheads.
Yeah, but crackheads are hard to catch. You ever seen how fast a crackhead is? They're super fast.
Yeah, hey, you're 100%. But come on now, Jimmy. Let's think about this. Remember, he was always in Hawaii or in Colorado chasing out some junkies, some meth dealers, some
Well,
ice
junkies
guys.
are a lot easier to catch. They're kind of sleepy. You know what I'm saying?
I've never once seen Dog the Bounty Hunter chase down some drug kingpin. I've never once seen it.
Because I don't think he gets those type of people out of jail. I don't think he takes a risk. Like, bondsmen take a certain risk, a certain level. Like some people get you out for murder while other bondsmen won't.
You got bondsmen, you got real bondsmen that get out people that kill people.
I know, but Dog might not be one of them. He might not take that type of risk, them high profile cases where he gets you out for murder. He might only get you out for simple drug dealing or possession or something like that. Maybe it's low level stuff.
Okay, I got you. But you would think with a TV show, he might as well be in the big leagues.
Yeah, but if you in the big leagues and you bond somebody on a $5 million bond and they flee the country, you got to pay that bond.
100%.
So maybe that's why he don't take those risks. Or
a
lot of bondsmen have insurance, right? Anyway, and all they have to do is sign something. They use a policy, so they use insured money, and maybe their insurance don't go up, but so high to cover but certain bonds.
And it kicks it back to somebody else.
Yeah, and then other people have the insurities to cover that high of a bond.
Oh, okay, I got
it. Yeah, because I was looking into being a bondsman here in Virginia, and that's kind of how it works. You know what I'm saying? You can pay an insurance firm, and they'll cover you up to a certain amount of money, and then you can bond on that money, and you pay a monthly payment to your insurance people that cover your money.
Yeah, that's how it is in Jersey. That's why I never get in trouble in Jersey, because you got to go through a bail bondsman. See, in Philly, it's like this: you pay 10% of your bond. So if you're like, I don't know anybody else, but like my highest bond, we had to pay 10%, which was $100,000. So the bail was $1 million. We had to come up with $100,000. So my mom put up the house.
Yeah, you can do that here in Virginia. Put up property too.
Yeah, as long as you own it out here in Philadelphia, that's how you do it.
Yeah, but you can't owe taxes on it either. You have to be.
No, you can't. You got to own it outright. You got to own it outright.
Yeah, so I know that because I've used property to bail. And that's how I found out about the insurance company, because I was bailing some people out of jail. And the magistrate told me, he said, well, why don't you just get an insurance policy and then you can become a bondsman and actually bond people, I had a couple buddies that kept going to jail and I kept getting them out. Who is it?
Oh, yeah. That was good. That was nice of you. I would always have to run around and gather up money for my friends, come with the 10%. Like, my thing was this: how you gonna hang on a corner and sell drugs and you can't come up with $1,000? Like,
you ain't a good drug dealer.
Yeah, you're not that good of a hustler though.
Yeah,
if you ain't got $1,000 sitting in the tuck, you should find a new business.
Yeah, well, I watched this dude. It was on like Vice or something like this, and he was a drug dealer, and he had like this 5-year plan, and everything he did, he would put up 20% of whatever he made for his lawyer fees. Everything, every penny he made, 20% went to lawyer fees, and he would save it.
Well, when I was doing that 20 years ago, my mom used to tell me like this: I need $20,000, $10,000 for a lawyer, $10,000 for bail at all times. I had to have that on deck.
Yeah, right, because that's what it's going to cost you. And if you ain't prepared, if you ain't prepared to play that, like this dude was saying, he was like, then you don't need to be playing the game.
100%. That's why now I go to work, and when I see the guys on the corner, I just laugh at them like, you guys don't even know, like, getting ready to be in a box, arguing with a bunch of guys, no showers, nothing.
Yeah.
jails are rough. The county out here is rough.
So when they get this dude, he's gonna be in a cell 23-1 high profile. They ain't gonna put him in population.
Well, what state he's in?
Well, he's running in Florida right now, but I think
listen, Florida's worse. There's no bond in Florida anyway, though.
But they're gonna send him back to like Utah, Wyoming area where he killed that girl.
It's even worse out there, I bet.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's even worse out there, I bet. But that's where you get all the fucking hillbilly fucking reality TV shows that though, like 60 Days In and all that kind of shit.
They had that shit in like in Atlanta and damn
Well, no, they had it in Atlanta one time. Most time though it's Midwest. It's always in a little hick town because they can blend in a lot easier.
Yeah.
Like, come on now, look at some of them guys that became pod bosses. We all know it. Hey Jimmy, you've been to jail. We know how this goes.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think jail's gonna be like for Brian Laundrie, Fresh? I mean,
it depends. It really depends. It depends on how he killed her and why he killed her.
Yeah, because he ain't going in there with like no charges against kids, so he's going in there as a murderer.
So in reality, as long as he minds his business, blends in with who he wants to blend in with, he's not gonna be it's not gonna be a problem for him. Now, if he goes in there running his dick suckers, acting like he did some, like some
hard stuff,
society,
like some street stuff, right?
Yeah, and then people find out you killed a girl for no reason, then you're gonna get smacked.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. He's not a pedo. When he gets caught, he'll probably be locked down because he's high profile, 23-1.
100%.
And then,
100%.
When he gets convicted, he'll go to prison for a while. He'll be locked down by himself for a while. Then they'll finally let him into
Then they'll put him in population, yep.
Then they'll put him in population after a while. After everybody's died down, everybody's kind of forgot about it.
100%.
That's for his safety, though.
Yeah, like think about how bad dude Chauvin got it. That Derek Chauvin guy. He's never gonna get the population. He's always gonna be in a cell by himself.
Yeah, and that gotta drive you crazy, man. That would so suck so bad, like just so bad.
Yeah, you're gonna I don't know. As long as I've ever done the whole is 120 days, and I'm telling you, it fucks with your brain. Like I don't even.
I did 3 days. 3 days. I was done in 3 days. Yeah, I was starting to talk to myself in 3 days. I was having damn full-blown conversations with myself in 3 days.
Yeah, 4 months of eating nothing but food loaves, and you're seeing fucking roaches walking on the wall. It's like oh man, listen, you'll go insane.
I must have walked in a million circles, start talking to
100%.
myself.
Look,
if you leave somebody in that situation too long, they're gonna go crazy.
Look, when I first got in there, I said, "Yeah, I got this. I'm just gonna sleep it all off." I think I slept for like 3 straight days. After that, I couldn't sleep a week.
He said I slept for 3 days and I couldn't sleep. But when he goes in there, he's been on the run so long and probably hadn't had no sleep. That he gets there, he's gonna sleep like a brick.
Oh yeah, he'll be rocked for like a month, right?
Yeah, he'll sleep.
They fuck with you. Remember, Jim? They fuck with you though. They always want to keep calling you out for meds.
Yeah, coming up, checking on you, making sure.
Yeah, listen, the first month, especially for him, it's going to be rough. He's never going to get no sleep. They're always going to be waking him up.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was just thinking that. They're going to be putting him on suicide watch because he's high profile. They're going to be checking on him every 15 minutes. Yeah. Let me see your band. Yeah,
it's going to be rough.
Yes, he's hating life. But I look at him like a coward, man. I think he's going to get trapped up somewhere and he's going to take his life fresh. I don't see this dude looking like he's ready to go to prison for the rest of his life.
Yeah, he's probably on a bender right now. He's probably on a bender. He's probably running the street.
Because he's he likes that outdoor. He likes the beautiful scenery, and he likes to be on the mountains, and he likes the water. And he's about to lose all that, all of it.
Yeah, so he's probably just living life right now.
The most he's ever going to see again is one lonely pigeon that lands in the yard. You know what I'm saying?
No, they're geese. They're geese.
Okay, he might get a geese. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He might get a goose if he's lucky. You know what I'm saying? And
get all over the yard.
I mean, unless he wanted to turn to a woman, because he's gonna be somebody's woman up in there. He don't look built for that life in prison like that. Not at that level. and he's going to the federal penitentiary.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a rough stop for him.
Yeah. All right, Fresh. It was good talking to you, homie.
You too, Jamz. Jam on.
You be good. Stay out of trouble.
All right, big guy.
All right, peace.
All right, dude.
All right, guys. That was Fresh. Me and Fresh go way back. So it was good filling them in. See, everybody don't even still know about the case. Fresh don't know. You know what I'm saying? Certain people do. Hold on before I take this call. We got about almost 200 people with us. Really important, guys. Really important. Give this video a like. Look out for your boy, Jimmy Jamz. I work hard for you. I'll bring us a place where we could all come together and share. And all you got to do is like the video. It don't even cost you but 2 seconds of your time to click the little thumbs up button. Or you can thumb it down if my face scares you and gives you horrible nightmares at night, right? It's possible. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You might wake up and be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? But if it don't, like the damn video, okay? I'm working on that, being able to reach out and grab technology. I'm just letting y'all know. Jamz TV, Dolly Vision in the house. Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
So I have questions.
I have answers. I don't know if they're the right answers, but they're definitely answers.
Okay. So how long do you think it's going to take them to find him?
Well, my prediction was 10 days, and I think my prediction is going to be wrong.
You think your prediction's wrong?
Yeah, because I got about a couple days left when I said that, and I think in a couple days my prediction will be up. So if they don't catch him in like the next day or two, I was off because I said, he'll make it about 10 days, and it's been about 10 days since I said it.
Or do you think they're going to find the gator using his little bones as toothpicks?
No, definitely not. No, not even close. Nah. If you was going to kill yourself, would you feed yourself to an alligator?
I mean, he's pretty damn dumb, so I'm assuming I don't know what to expect.
I mean, I'm assuming he's dumb. He might be some dumb, but I don't think he's plumb dumb.
He's pretty dumb.
He's pretty dumb. He is, because anybody that's going to go out there and kill their girlfriend, and that's pretty dumb. I agree that he's dumb, but I don't think he's dumb enough to feed himself to an alligator.
Well, it could be an accident. He
was walking through the swamp, fell into an alligator's mouth.
No, like he just tripped over his whole stupidity and fell into an alligator's mouth.
Sideways. His neck, landed neck first, right into the alligator. He just chopped him. I don't believe he was ever in that swamp. I believe they pulled the car up to it. He jumped into another vehicle. They left the car. He went somewhere else. I don't believe he was ever at that reserve. Oh, and they're finding out that campsite, it didn't belong to Brian Laundrie. So the campsite wasn't his. I don't believe he was ever there. I think that car was just a decoy to throw everybody off, and I think it did a good job doing that. But I did read that the water's receding in that reserve, and they're continuing to search. So I think they're searching for a weapon.
That's what you think? I think that they're just searching to be searching at this point in time, because I don't think
he's searching to be searching. They're like, yo, I know somebody left some Legos out here. If we look around long enough, we gonna find them. Now, I think they're looking for something for sure. They wouldn't be looking, you know.
But I want to know why they just now asking his no good for nothing father to come out there and tell them where these places is. He ain't telling them the real places. He ain't told the truth since day one.
I know. I agree with you there. What if? Okay, so a caller told me this last night. He said, what if they called the dad out there? He gets out the truck, jumps on that little four-wheeler, drives off. The feds run up to the truck. They start putting GPSs on it. They start putting recording devices in it. And they got about 3 or 4 hours of wire and tap this truck while his dad's in that reserve. I thought that was good. I was like, yo, this dude, he's thinking. Because now that truck is sitting out there unattended. Right. And but because you couldn't do that in front of the house because there's reporters, there's everybody right there. You know what I'm saying? So he took the truck, the damn got out the truck. Now they got your truck. And I believe, look, some people are saying, you know, when they went in the house to get the DNA for the dogs to sniff out the clothes, I was like, I wouldn't worry about, and everybody was worried about what they took out the house. I was like, I wouldn't worry about what they took out the house. I'd be worried about what they put in the house, because they probably wired the house. They got the phones wiretapped. They got his sister's phone wiretapped. So any communication, even if he calls with a burner phone and it hits their phone, they're going to know that. And then they're going to ping that phone. So he has to get rid of, every time he uses that phone, that burner phone, to call one of those people, he's going to have to get rid of it. And still, even if he does that, they'll still be able to tell what state. They might not be able to tell what location, but they'll be able to tell the general area in the state that he's in, just from using the burner phones to call somebody.
I agree with you. Now, my next question is, what do you think about his sister coming and speaking out and saying, the thing that caught me was her saying, the general public don't need to know everything the FBI knows. I know what I told the FBI, and they know. So I think she's told them a lot, number one. And number two, when the question was asked to her, do you think your mom and dad are helping him? She said, I don't know. Then they said, do you think your brother did it? Do you think he killed her? She said, I don't know. If I was ever asked that question, is your mom and dad sheltering or helping your brother? I would have to say, hell no.
Yeah, hell no. Hell to the no.
And then if you ask me about my brothers, on the other hand, I'd have to ask you which one you're referring to, because one of them is a possibility and the other one is a most definitely not.
Yeah.
We know our family. We know what our families are capable of doing. And so I feel like she knows yes or no if her family is helping, and she knows if she feels that he did it or not.
Yeah, like I got a family member that travels a lot of places by itself, and if somebody came up to me one day and said, hey man, that dude's a serial killer, I'd be like, man, I thought something was funny. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Right.
You know, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I'll be like, I wouldn't doubt it. You know what I'm saying? But like, damn. You know,
because I have a brother that's really questionable on what he will do, but I have this other brother is as square as a peg, and I know most definitely he is not doing nothing wrong. Now my other brother, I just don't know about him. He's a little crazy.
Yeah,
and
but usually,
I think
you know what? Let me stop you. Usually, the crazy people, you know what you getting. It's the normal people that you think ain't crazy that end up being the craziest ones. You ever notice that?
True.
Everybody's like, yo, man, I never thought he would do it, man. True. I ate ribs with that dude. You know what I'm saying? So usually nobody's always like, man, I can't believe, man, he was the best neighbor. He cut my grass. You know, everybody, you know, it's always like the dude you didn't think would do it. The dude that had the tattoos on his face and been in prison for 37 years, he's over there not hurting nobody. You know what I'm saying?
You see, and that question was asked about me. My mom would say no, she would never do that. She has a problem killing a damn spider. She see it, she runs. She don't kill things like that. Only way I will take a life is if my life is in jeopardy, then you got to go.
Oh, yeah, I feel the same way. And that's like me. I would never go out and want to hurt nobody or kill nobody. But if you do something I think that you're trying to kill me or take my life, I'm going to do whatever I got to do. If it's kill you,
exactly.
I'm leaving. You know what I'm saying? I got a family that I want to see, and if it comes down to that, I'm going to do whatever I got to do to survive.
And then my next thing is, you know, when they got stopped for the domestic violence, the reason they didn't even look at him in that kind of way is because she said, well, I hit him first, and then he did this to me. And so that made her look like she was the aggressor.
Yeah. And they didn't want to put her in jail because he's pretty, and they were probably like, "Oh, I don't want to put this girl in," but she should have went to jail. It don't matter.
And then watching the second cameras that was there. I'm sorry, I've been smoking, so you got to give me a moment to get my thoughts composed. Right?
Okay, I'm smoking now, so you got to give me a moment all the time.
Okay, absolutely, right, I got you. So. The cop kept going back into the car trying to find a loophole not to put somebody in jail. oh, we just gonna separate them. You can say separate them all you want, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna stay separated away from each other.
That's exactly right.
The female cop made that statement, and she told Gabby, your relationship is toxic, and you need to find something better to do with your life. Not the exact words, but you know, doing my best here. So I have so many of these little questions in my mind. You, regardless on how cute she was, you should have locked her little ass up, or threw his little stupid ass up. Lock somebody up, because she would have been in there probably a few days.
That's what I'm saying. And then her family would have got a hold of her. One of them would have flew into town and been like, get away from this dude, and flew her back home to like New Jersey or something. And this might not have never happened. I do feel like them cops should be, the police department there should be sued in a wrongful death lawsuit. And it's clearly that this girl possibly, I ain't thinking they could have still, you know, they could have went to jail and still got back together and he still killed her. But I think that would have been unlikely. I just don't think the police did their job.
And my next thing is him flying back, supposedly flying back the 17th to help his pappy get clean out of storage.
That's nuts.
To save money. It was like 68. They weren't the ones paying for the storage, by the way. It was his daddy, his little ratchet, nasty ass daddy. Sorry for my language.
You're fine.
It was his little trifle himself was the one that was paying for it. So whose money was they trying to save? I'm trying to pat you on the back and I'm not even there.
Yeah, I know. I guess, you know, they were living free. They were living this life. But I guess what they don't show on their internet channel is somebody else was paying the bill.
Exactly.
You know, they show all these beautiful places like you can just go out and live that. But if you ain't got money, you can't do that. You got to have money for gas. You got to have money for food. You got to have money to do all these things. It costs money. So you can't just jump in a van and go, oh, I'm just going to go live free and you'll be broke. How far are you going to drive with no gas? You know, nothing to eat.
But not far.
But they had family, and both of them came from look like decent families. You know, and I'm assuming that Gabby's family was paying for most of that.
I can't wait for Gabby's dad and stepdad to get their hands on his ass. I want to be a fly on the wall, and I want to watch it all.
You know, that would be good justice in this country if you killed somebody and they just handed you over to the family. I think that would be better justice than putting you in prison. Because putting somebody in prison, like I said, it just ain't, you know, some people might get accustomed to being in prison, be able to watch TV, go outside, get a job, eat. But Gabby will never have any of that. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't see it. Justice, to me, justice would be like, okay, you're guilty. Let's walk you out the courthouse. Let's hand you over to Gabby's parents. And then we'll see you later, buddy. If they decide to, you know, that Jesus said let you go, then they let you go. If they decide that they want to cut you into 172 little tiny pieces and mail you to all their relatives, then more power to them. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they want to do to you. You know what I'm saying? If they feel Jesus wants you to be a free dude, and you know, because some people are like that. They're forgiving. They're like, you know, but me, I'm not.
I could never be that forgiving. You take my son's life. I only have one kid.
I only have one kid too.
So you take my son's life, then I'm gonna have to come for you and try and take yours. You shouldn't deserve to have a life for taking my child, who is a good kid, doing the right things in life, raising his daughter, supporting his family, and you just gonna take my child? Oh no, ma'am, no sir. We not doing none of that.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it too. They have to put me in prison forever. So nobody's going to prison if it has to be me. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm gonna tell you something. I don't look good in orange on the outside, but big girl over here gonna look real good, looking like a big old pumpkin in orange. You mess with my son.
Yeah. There's some things, you know, you get that prison pass. I'm like, I will go to prison behind my kid. You know what I'm saying? And I just go. Won't even be upset about it when I'm sitting in jail. I just be there like, yeah, shouldn't mess with my kid. I tell the judge the same thing. Right. I'll be like, what do you want me to do? That's my kid.
I'm not about to just sit here and just expect the legal system to make it right for me. Let me make it right myself. The right for me would be for him not to take another fucking breath. Yeah. He don't deserve the air we breathe.
Yeah, now, everybody says he's innocent till he's proven guilty. Now, when you start to run like this, I mean, you're saying to the world right there, you're guilty. That's almost like saying I did it to me.
I'm sorry, I'm over here. You said that and I rolled my eyes.
So, I mean, I don't know.
What is he doing that makes him look innocent? Every step he's taken has made him look even more and more guilty.
I know. That's what I said. I said he just guilty as shit. Innocent people don't run.
I would have went and stayed in a damn motel somewhere or went to somebody's house that they didn't know about, so I didn't have to hear them all out in front of my house hooting and hollering. But I'm not going to go on the run, like going through some bushes in the swamp and playing with alligators and tickling cute little raccoons in the chin. I'm not doing all that. If I'm innocent, I'm going to prove I'm innocent.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would do. I wouldn't go be hanging in the swamp either. I would think they ain't going to believe me, but I would try to prove my innocence the best I could,
Absolutely. And then the last thing I got to say on this whole matter, I feel like she was failed from the beginning. From the cops, the first round of cops that came that day, from that day forward, she was failed on so many levels. And I feel like that young lady didn't even have a chance at that point.
Yeah.
The time to save her would have been the day they pulled them over.
Definitely. Look, I want to thank you for calling in and voicing your opinion tonight. It was awesome talking to you. Don't forget to give the video a like. And if you haven't, make sure you sub.
Oh, I do that every time I see your videos. I was doing that before I was subbed, and I subbed, I think, like 2 days ago.
Yeah, thank you. That's awesome. I appreciate it. And I'll talk to you next time.
Okay, you're a cool dude.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm pointing at the TV and stuff like you can see me.
I can see you. I got it's telepathy.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, thank you. And I'm sorry for all the people in the chat that had to listen to me be all long-winded. I apologize. Love y'all. Peace.
Peace. She was not that long-winded, okay? So I'll tell you this. When the cops do get them, and I know the feeling that he's going to feel. Because there was a point in time where I got in an altercation, and I thought the person that I got in the altercation with might die. Okay? So when the SWAT team ran up on me to arrest me, I thought the guy had died. 100% honest. The feeling when the police got me was bad. I thought he was dead. He won't. The guy lived. Thank God. Thank you, Jesus. Little baby Jesus with a little baby. I'd be in prison right now, right? There would be no YouTube. There'd be none of this, right? It'd be life was almost over for your boy, Jimmy Jamz. I was honestly, guys, I swear to you, I was defending myself. And in that action, I almost took another guy's life, okay? And I thought he died. The SWAT team ran up on me, guns, knee in the neck, right? I mean, it was bad. It was bad. And I remember when the lady snatched me up, she had me in handcuffs because it was a woman cop that cuffed me. And she was like, this happened in the city of Newport News, right? This is how it went down. No lie. And this is what he's going to feel. He's going to feel the same fear, the same thing that came over me. He's going to feel. I know it. Because I felt it. Because I thought my life was done. I thought it was a wrap. It was gone. Life's over, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go to prison for the rest of my life. Like, never getting out. And so I know that feeling that he's going to feel. The lady snatches me up to my feet, right? SWAT team around me, machine gun. I'm like, and I'm at McDonald's, okay? No lie. I'm at the drive-thru at McDonald's. I'm looking at the girl in the drive-thru window, and I'm in my BMW. I had a little BMW that was dropped 3 inches, so it sat real low to the ground. And I had the windows dropped down because it was summertime, because it was a 4-door. But I was looking to my left, and they caught me slipping. I didn't even see the SWAT team run up on me. What I seen was this. I'm looking at the girl in the drive-thru window, right? No lie, right? And all of a sudden, she slams the window and locks it. And for some reason, it made me look the opposite way. And when I turned my head, the woman officer had already leaned her body into my car from the other side, from the passenger window, and had a gun in my face. I'm like, turn the car off. Turn the car off. She was literally in the car with me, right? I was like, boom, gun right in my face. Right? I was like, cut the car off. She was like, throw the keys out the window. Throw the keys out the window. So anyway, when she picked me up, she looked at me. She said, you ever been to Newport News? And I was like, yeah. And then she was like, you know why you're going to jail then. I got in the car, and I was in the back, and I'm talking about sweat beating out my head, heart still outside the car. Like, my heart done left my whole body, right? Because I thought I was going to prison forever, never getting out. And I remember I asked the lady again, I said, what am I being arrested for? And I thought she was going to say murder. She said, you're being arrested for assault with intention to maim, disfigure, or kill, okay? Which is a class 6 felony. It's right under manslaughter, okay? So there's that charge, then there's manslaughter, then there's 3rd degree, 2nd degree, 1st degree murder. It's not good. It carries 5 to 15 years still, right? So it wasn't good. It's still it ain't a charge that carries jail time. This is a charge that carries 5 to 15 years in prison still. But with that, dude, but my heart climbed back up in my chest, right? It climbed, it said, doo, 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 doo. I was like, okay, woo, I'm good. This dude is alive, right? Because I thought he was dead. And I had heard rumors and stuff, guys. I ain't gonna lie. I was about to bug out. I was gonna run. I was so gonna run, dude. I was gonna run. Because I was defending myself, and I just didn't feel like anybody was gonna believe it, and this dude's in a coma, and I'm thinking he's going to die. And I had people that was playing both sides, lying to me and stuff. And I thought, man, I had already dumped the money out my bank. I done had a book bag packed up, ready to rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? And just, the dude woke up, and he identified me. And they, like I said, boom, boom. I didn't get a chance to run. They got me at the Mickey D's, trying to score a cheeseburger, but that feeling of my life is over. Oh, I felt it 100%. I know exactly what it feels like. I know exactly what he's going to feel like. The only difference was when it all came out, it all worked itself out. I was 100% defending myself. I ended up taking a plea deal, right? I pled guilty to unlawful wounding, which is still a felony. Okay. But if I completed community service, I think it was 2 years of probation, it dropped down to misdemeanor assault. So I am not a convicted felon or anything like that. I didn't go to prison, right? Thank you, Jesus. Right? But the guys were going to lie. They were going to court and lie, right? Just completely lied. Like how people could do that and try to destroy somebody's life, but it is what it is. Good night, everybody. Boom, Moon Raven. Not me, good night. I was just saying good night to whoever it was. Jimmy was happy picking up the trash on the highway. I didn't pick up trash on the highway. I worked at a thrift store, okay? And I washed cars at a thrift store. The thrift store had a little car wash, and I sat out there and washed cars for 100 hours. Was my community service was 100 hours, right? It was dreadful. It was dreadful. But that's just a little bit of sharing with you. I feel you, Virginia, on some bull crap. Yeah. But you gotta remember that, guys. When you defend yourself and something happens, you never know who's gonna get the finger point, especially when it's like a situation like that where it's a fight and people don't know who is the aggressor. Then it's kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? But the reason I did what I did is this dude ran up on me with a pool stick. Right? He ran up on me with a pool stick. And y'all might think this is crazy, but I honestly share it because I've already went to court for this stuff and everything, so I can talk about it. He ran up on me with a pool stick. He was drawing back like he was going to hit me with a pool stick. Like he had it in his hand, like a marble pool stick, and he kept like flexing with it. I guess that would be the word for it. And I was standing there, and I had a guitar in my hand. And I ain't talking about no damn country acoustic guitar. I'm talking about a solid body rock guitar. And let me tell you this. Don't bring a pool stick to a guitar fight, okay? It don't end pretty. It does not end pretty, right? So just don't do it. Don't ever do that. You know what I'm saying? Just remember that. And I almost wish I would have let the dude hit me with the pool stick. It cost me so much money to fight that court case, right? And you got to remember his parents, like when they catch him, it's going to cost them so much money, just so much money to try to even do anything in court. If you don't want him to get the death penalty, it's going to cost the family hundreds of thousands of dollars to try to fight that death penalty. So how's everyone out there in YouTube doing? Are y'all still with me? Let's refresh the phone lines. I'll throw the phone lines up. Take some more calls about the Gabby PETITO stuff. I know y'all don't want to hear about me all night, but I just wanted to express to you that feeling of my life is over that he's going to feel. It's a horrible, horrible feeling. And he deserves to feel that. But here's the difference. My life wasn't over. My life was just warming up, right? His life is really over, like done. Like when they get you, when you drop your head in the back of the car, that's it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I know the feeling. You're going to be like, boop, head down, right? Your neck don't work no more. It's just like, boop, you go noodle neck. Jamz TV, Dolly Vision.
Hey, Jimmy. Hey, it's Nikki from California.
Nikki from California.
I can't be loud yet because hold on. I'm walking outside the house right now.
Okay. All right. Are you in danger? Do we need to send help?
No.
Stand.
Okay, hold on. Max, come here. Good boy. Come on. Go. Okay. All right. I can talk now. Okay. Okay. So, first of all, I have a thought. I'm like kind of like pissed that like, I don't know, no one's organized something like this yet. Okay, so if everyone thinks that Brian's on the fucking Appalachian Trail, right? Why the hell? Okay, everyone's got plenty of free time right now because ain't nobody working because everybody was, getting all that unemployment COVID money.
Oh, that
right?
COVID
so
money. Damn.
So there's hella people that ain't working right now, right? Why haven't... Including myself, I'm one of them. I wasn't working. Well, I was self-employed, but
I was working. I just got off work like 4 hours ago.
Oh yeah, no, I've been working the whole time, but I was self-employed, so I collected that. Yeah, I got on that train. Anyways, so I would be down to do this. Why doesn't hella people, right, organize and just everyone go on the Appalachian Trail all at the same time, right? Make sure that every single one of those little shelter things is occupied, right? And then like at each interval, right, or whatever that they have there, there would just be a big ass group of people that all just spread out each way and just go find them in one fucking day.
You know what they should do? They should say they're doing a real a human life game of Fortnite in the hills of the Appalachian. And then there would be millions of people that merge on those hills. Yeah. There you go. That's how they do it. They say, we're going to have a real live Fortnite tournament in the Appalachian Trail. Everybody show
Yeah,
up.
like they did that Pokemon thing, right? Like that Pokeball shit.
Millions of people will show up in the Appalachian Trails. You know what I'm saying?
Hell
And then it'll be
yes.
like, all right, this is the golden egg. Whoever team finds
Right.
this guy, and then everybody just tracks him down like it's a video game.
Yeah, I
Like
don't
it's the
understand
damn-
why that shit hasn't been done.
damn
Like they
game of
spent
Call
so
of
much
Duty.
money at the exactly. That's crazy. Anyway, so okay, I have it. Okay, so you know how Brian? Okay, first of all, is Free to Be in the chat again? I can't see the chat right now.
Yes,
because, well,
Free
I
to Be
guess,
is always
I
here. She's in the
well,
shadows
she
lurking.
left earlier. She left earlier to go to your other room to make sure there's a moderator over there.
Yeah, well, she's probably
So-
watching in Dolly Vision because all my moderators are usually on Jamz
Okay.
TV, and Dolly
Because the
Vision
thing
don't
is,
have very many mods. So
Okay, so should I? Okay, because I need to see her chat. Oh, but then how do I mute you? I have to call on a different phone, huh? Let me look at my mom's phone. That way I can call you
Free to
from
Be,
her phone. And
Free to Be
still see
is Free to Be is on Jamz. That's what she says. She's on
Okay,
Jamz TV.
Let me. Okay, let me. I'm gonna hang up. I'm gonna call you back on my mom's phone. That's that
Okay.
530 number, and then
I
that way I
don't
can
even
see
look
the
at
chat.
I don't even look at the numbers when people call in. I just
Okay.
answer or don't answer. All right.
Okay, because that
Bye-bye.
way I can see the chat. Because she's gonna coordinate dates with me while I talk.
Okay. All
Because
right.
I have a theory.
All right. Y'all
Okay,
team
so
up.
give me a minute.
All right, go over to James. Call back. Peace. Okay, guys. So yes, we air on a bunch of channels. So there's like 250 or so, which is so you might look up in the chat room and it might say 50 people, but you're just in one of my rooms. We're actually streaming on Dolly Vision, which a lot of you guys are watching. Hold on, guys, and I'll take a call in just a second. We're streaming on Jamz TV, which is my main channel. If you haven't, go sub that one up, JAMZ TV. We're at 32,000 subscribers over there. I think I'm at like 7 million views. So sub that one up if you get a chance. We got some new channels. We got the Jimmy Jamz channel, which is just a podcast channel, which we're airing on, which is a brand new small channel. So it's only getting a few views. But for the few people that are viewing on them channels, thank you so much. That's where it starts. A few people, then it's a few hundred people, then it's a few thousand people. That's how you grow, right? So hold on one second. We're also got another channel. It's on everything. We're on Twitch. We're on Facebook. We're on multiple YouTube channels. So we're a little bit everywhere. So it don't really matter what channel you're watching from. Your comments still come to me. I still see everybody's comments no matter what channel you're on. But you guys don't get to see everybody's comments because some people may be in a different room than you, but still watching right along with you. Okay, makes sense? Okay. Bam. All right, now I'll take calls. I just want to explain that to you guys. And if you haven't, make sure you give the video a like. There's like 250. The more you guys help and like the video, the more the algorithm will pick up the video and we'll get some more input. Maybe somebody will call in with some clues, but we got to get this video out there. And the best way to do that is to like it or to share it to your Facebook, just to your timeline. And it'll help this video get up there in the rankings and more people will jump into the chat. Jamz TV, Dolly Vision, and every other platform we can think of.
Hey, Jimmy Jamz.
What's up, Free to Be?
Not a lot. I just the thing is Nikki has a theory, but she wants the timeline. Okay. And so Missa told me, I don't know, I'm supposed to somehow do this in the chat, but I think it's going to be easier for me to just put the timeline here, and hopefully Nikki's listening, and maybe she can write it down real quick with the dates.
Okay, well, give Nikki time to get a pen.
Huh?
Give her time to get a pen. How do you know she has a pen and paper?
I don't know, because it's going to be too difficult for her to look at the chat and have her theory of what she thinks has happened.
Okay, all right. So, if Nikki, if you're listening,
it's Nikki, and Missa was talking to her. So, yeah, I put dates over in the chat, but it moves too fast, and so I got like 4 dates in there, and it's easier here.
Okay, all right, go ahead. You just do your dates. Take over.
Okay, hope you're listening, Nikki. August 12th, Brian and Gabby were pulled over. They were separated until supposedly the 13th, but we really don't know how long they were separated for. Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner were last seen on the 13th. So Brian had some time there. The girls' bodies were found. They were shot to death.
The 28th?
20 miles from Moab on the 18th.
Oh, that's right.
And then Brian turned around and left on August 17th through the 23rd, which is another strange detail because supposedly on the 24th there was a FaceTime call with Mom, Brian, and Gabby at the Salt Lake City, Utah airport. But if he left on the 23rd from Florida, he should have been back in on the, I don't know, maybe it was early morning hours. But anyways, the 23rd or 24th, he was at the airport with Gabby. Supposedly, Gabby talked to her mother the last time by phone, not FaceTime, but she did talk to her August 25th. Then Gabby's body was found on the 21st. But there was a bad argument at a restaurant on the August 27th. The warrant for Brian was issued on the 24th of September, 3 days after. Not for the murder, but for the card stealing. Let's see. There was a couple TikTokers that supposedly saw Brian in the camping area because they were camping. It's not the same girls that supposedly was to give him a ride, or that couple that was to give him a ride for $200 or whatever. And that was like on the 21st, 29th. And then on the 1st of September, he was back home in Florida. Yeah. So there's the timeline. And I hope I went slow enough. If not, I'm in the chat. Okay, Nikki?
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I'm off.
All right.
Peace.
So there is the timeline. Free to Be is the honorary Dolly Cash, Jamz TV detective. Okay. So I'm assuming her timeline is right. Now, did she update the timeline with the lying parents? I've got to ask you that, Free to Be. Because remember they said the 14th, but then they lied. He actually left a day after, or something like that, a day before or a day after. Because, the parents been kind of lying this whole time. Jamz TV, Dolly Vision. Hello. Okay. I guess they didn't have nothing to say. All right. But thank you for your call. I'm assuming Nikki is going to call in with her theory now that she has the timeline in place. All right. I need to get me a new mouse. Hit that super chat. We got to get me a new mouse. I'm just kidding. It ain't working. All right. There it went. Now it's working. What was I about to do? Okay. Yeah. Here's what I was about to do. Give me 1 second, guys. Nikki, you can go ahead and call in. Phone lines are still open. Of course, the phone lines are 757-797-6694. I guess Nikki can call in first, and then after that, if you have some input or something you want to say about this whole case or what's going on with, Dog thinking that Brian Laundrie may be a serial killer because he reads weird books, give me your thoughts. Jamz TV, Dolly Vision.
Hey, it's Nikki.
Hey, Nikki.
Okay, so someone in the chat, Smiley Cyclops, says that the dates are wrong. Which dates did they think that were wrong? If they could write that in the chat. And then also, and I'm looking at the chat on my other phone so I can see everything that's going on. Okay, and then also, does anyone know the dates that Brian, the dates and also possibly like time of day that Brian hitchhiked with those two different people? Does anyone know that? I should have this all fucking written down. I'm so invested in this case, but I don't.
I think it was in the nighttime when he was hitchhiking, right? It was in the middle
On
of
what
the night.
day?
The day that they believe Gabby was killed is the day he was hitchhiking.
Yeah, Jonna, let's do. I should need to get all the info first. I should do that and then call in. I think that someone on another channel has a pretty extensive timeline. Let me go because I do have a pretty interesting theory. Like it's kind of crazy. Like I had
Okay,
like
all
an
right, we'll
epiphany
take your
moment.
time. All
So
right,
but it really depends on the date. Huh?
okay, okay.
And I just don't want to say anything until I look at the dates because it could be really dumb. But if the dates line up, like he for sure murdered those two girls. Holy crap!
All right, go do your thing. Call me back.
Okay, all right. I'll type in chat when I'm ready.
All right,
Bye.
all right. So there you go. Nikki's trying to get her dates together. To me, here's the thing. He might be a serial killer. He might not be. The date to me really don't matter. What matters to me is the dude's on the run, and we know he did it because if he wouldn't be running, if he hadn't have done it, like I said, innocent people don't run. Look at OJ. You know what I'm saying? You seen what happened in the Bronco? He was running because he was guilty. He cut that lady's head off. You know what I'm saying? So innocent people wouldn't be acting like this. So therefore, he's made himself. It's almost like he's took a guilty plea, and he's going to pay for that. You can only run for so long, and they're going to eventually get you. So eventually, you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison. All right. Give me 1 second. Okay, so does anybody, let me change this up real quick. Does anybody got anything they want to add? If so, hit up the call-in number. Come on, Jeff Foxworthy. You might just be a serial killer. Okay, if you might just be a serial killer. I get that a lot. Did I sound like Jeff Foxworthy? I can't help it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Jeff Foxworthy is quite as cool as me, though, to be honest. I'm just saying. He might be. I ain't never met him personally. I know he's richer than me, that's for sure. You might be a redneck if you watch this podcast, all right? You might be a redneck. That's all I got. It's the best joke. 2 shows a week, be here to Thursday, all right? So if anybody got anything they want to add, like I said, just hit up the call-in number. Let me see if I can get it on the screen. There it is. Okay. A lot of damn buttons here. A lot of buttons, people. Just a little south in your mouth. What? No, that's all right. But that sounds a little weird for me. All right, that sounds a little weird. If you wobble like a duck, you might be a Laundrie. There you go. If it looks like a duck, wobbles like a duck, could be a girlfriend killer. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it's possible. It's not good to be making fun of people's disabilities, even if they're a killer. Okay? Jamz TV, Dolly Vision.
Yeah, buddy, your number, when you go to look it up, it's different than what your call number actually is. The 7s, if you, on your subtitle on the front of the YouTube, I just figured I'd let you know that. But I'm the guy, Chris from Ohio, that called you about the GPS theory. You must have gave that some thought, huh?
Yeah, I did. I think you might be right on that.
Yeah, they may not. They may announce that his son's passed away on the Monday. They might have. You never know. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to be like, Yeah, I know all the answers because I don't, but I'm pretty good at thinking at things. You know, I worked on vehicles. I'm a hell of a mechanic. I can rebuild. I got a Fox body Mustang that I rebuilt. It's a 93. It's the last year they made them.
Okay, so when I go to work on my vet, I'm going to bring you on my live, and you can help me fix my car.
What year?
Virtually.
What year is your vet?
I got a 2004 C5 that I need to put a couple parts on.
A C5. Yeah, you can pick them up for a really decent price on the C5s.
Yeah, no, I got it at a decent price, but it needs a little bit of work.
Now, does that got like an LS6 in it or an LS3?
I think it's an LS1 in it.
An LS1?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't know shit about cars. That's why I said I'm gonna bring you in virtually when I fix my car.
You know? Right. Yeah, you may be right because I got a '94 Camaro and it's got a 350 LT1 in it. The same thing as the 350 LT1 they put in the Corvettes, but I've got 374S Corvette heads off a 6.2 liter on it, so you can really hear it sucking the air through there.
Jimmy, you still on Facebook? Cray Debbie? Yes, I am. I'm still on Facebook. Everybody's on Facebook.
So have you gave it any thought that he may be reenacting? Like when I said psychotic, I didn't mean he's like psychotic, but he does have issues. It seems like going back through his history and stuff. Like I say, I've watched just about every YouTube channel you can think, news channel, and he may be on them Appalachian trails, like I say, because March 19th is Gabby's birthday. That's where they started off in New York, and that's where they started tracking themselves on on Dragon's Tooth. If you look at the picture, that's the mountain that he's on.
Did you catch where I said the last dude that ran from the authorities into the Appalachian trails, it took them 5 years to catch him?
Yeah, I've read about that. You're right. Yeah, this guy might take 10 years to catch if his
I was like, yo,
better.
That's crazy, right? I'm like, 5 years. Now I know where I'm running. If I ever do something crazy, I'm going to the Appalachians. Take you forever.
Yeah, and you know, some of them shelters has got gallons of never opened bottle of waters in them for the trail hikers, and they got this magic gift or whatever it is in boxes where they can get snacks and all that, and they just set regular boxes out.
Yeah. Hopefully you don't get eaten by the bears and the mountain lions and shit.
Well, there's some trails that's closed down due to bear activity, but the damnedest thing about it is that's where they found Gabby's body, in a bear activity place. There was supposedly a sign that said no camping because of bear activity.
So do you think she was like, usually when people kill somebody out in the wilderness like that and say, you know, it took them a few days to get to Gabby, you know, animals would have ravaged her body.
Yeah, because if you noticed on the autopsy, they had to get the DNAs. They just matched her up. They said that the family was on Dr. Phil, and they said they just matched her up with her favorite sweater.
Yeah, because you know, if you laying there and you're in bear country and you're laying there dead, bears are going to come up and eat on you.
Well, yeah, that's the thing about alligators, bears, and all them wild animals. If you're alive, they're mainly not going to go after live prey because there's so much stuff in the wilderness that dies off. They're used to. That's why they don't want you feeding bears, just because they don't want to get you used to being around people.
Yeah, because they're naturally scared of people.
Yeah, and people start feeding them. Well, then they're going to start just coming up with every Tom, Dick, and Harry that camps in the woods, and that's going to create a danger. And that's where I'm thinking they probably had problems on the Appalachian Trail, because a lot of people do a lot of trash throwing and don't clean their trash up on that trail, and they got it's kind of like the dog when they get a taste of blood, you know, they they just want it, more or less.
Yeah.
But I did notice today that there's actually a 17-year-old girl and a 13-year-old girl missing out of Utah around Salt Lake City, and it was the same time that him and Gabby was at that Salt Lake City motel.
And in that general area, and there's two other girls other than the TikTokers?
Come up missing from their house. Yes, sir.
Okay, you got to fill me in on this. Now, you saying?
Well, you have to look it up a little bit, but there's a 17. I know that the one's 17 and the other one's 13. They both come up missing out of her house, out of their own house, and ain't found them. But there's that Colton that was up there. You know, there's a lot of. I just typed in missing people from Grand Teton. And there's so many, it goes back in history, buddy, that there's a lot of people missing from that area where he killed her. If he did, you know what I mean? I can't say he did, I can't say he didn't, because I really don't know. But
yeah.
I don't want to get for what's that, defamation of character. You can actually get in trouble for that, like that.
Yeah, but he ain't never gonna be out of prison to sue you.
No, I know that. I probably won't, even if I was to go look for him. That's the problem with me going look for him. I'm on Social Security, so I got a lot of hours on time and stuff, but I got 3 dogs that I have to take care of for.
Yep, Alice said the same thing. A 15-year-old and a 17-year-old are currently missing in the same time frame.
So you looked it up?
No, I'm just saying that's what somebody else said in the chat. Alice.
Yeah. But that dude that was, his last name's Colton. He was like 200 miles away from there, but he did have a motorcycle. Did you see the video with him dancing?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, they got a video of that Colton dude dancing in a peace shirt. And actually, when they showed him wanted, that peace shirt is in the picture of his wanted picture. That's how dumb that guy was.
And what is he wanted for?
I guess he's got a bunch of charges against police officers, assault, like 5 different charges. I don't know everything, but I just know bits and pieces from him. He's wanted for aggravated rape and all kinds of shit. And he ended up getting, his time was actually, he was done with his time. But they you know how, like, if the family don't want you out of prison, they can protest against that, contend against it. Well, they didn't let him out of that mental facility because he already did his 5 years he got sentenced for.
Uh-huh.
And they figured he was a menace to society, too much danger. They didn't want to release him from the mental hospital, and I guess somebody that worked there actually helped him get out of there.
Okay, so he was on the run at this time that these people
yes,
came
sir,
up dead.
He was on the run. Yeah, like I said, I don't know all the facts about him. I could tell you a lot of facts about Gabby and Brian because I've been studying on that specific thing. There's another case that ain't been solved in like 5 years. It's called Abby Williams and Liberty German. That's an unsolved deal. It's called the Delphi murders. Have you ever heard of it?
Not right off. It sounds familiar though.
It's out of Indiana. If you just type in Delphi murders, you'll look it up. $325,000 reward.
325. That we got to get a posse together. All these rewards for all these wanted people. I'm just going to start going on the hunt for wanted people. I'm in the wrong business.
Right.
I need to be a Native American tracker.
Yeah. Did you see Daily Mail exposed dog said he didn't even have a bounty license or nothing? That does make sense because, like, there's a dude that it's called True Investigations or whatever. His name's Anthony Greeno. He claims he has a bounty's license, but you can't get a bounty license in certain states if you're a felon.
Well, I know a couple female bounty hunters, and I could have them come on to the show, and they'll let you know, I guess, what you got to have to be a bounty hunter. But they also talk about another dude that wasn't a bounty hunter, but then became a bounty hunter. But I guess it really don't matter if you're a bounty hunter if you find a dude.
Well, you can get a kidnapping charge. I did check that out. They'll hit you with a kidnapping charge. That's the innocent until proven guilty thing about, like you was talking about.
Wanted, right? He's wanted. I have the right to citizen's arrest.
You got a right. You got a right to tell him and follow him without harming him, and then call the authority and have them come. Is the way I take it.
Oh no, that dude's worth 200 G's. He's getting hit in the head with a brick, and we would just have to chop it up with a judge.
No, I'm not no punk. Like I said, I'd go up and tackle his ass and hog tie him. I'd carry rope in my truck.
Yeah, that dude's getting debowed. You know what I'm saying? He getting debowed. Like me and the judge had to talk it out after I get my 200 G's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you'd be able to camp out with the cash, right?
Yeah, feel like I'll get a good lawyer because I'll have 200 G's after busting debowing him in the head.
Yeah, did you see his parents' lawyer that they hired? It's if you look it up, it's a hardware store is what another YouTuber looked up his address and thing. They were joking around like you better call Saul, but yeah, you got to think I'm a New Yorker, so I know how some New Yorkers work.
Yeah, dude. If he had Saul, I'd be worried. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, yo, they ain't getting this dude.
Like I said, I've given it a lot of thought, buddy, and I really think there wasn't much news today on it about it. But I honestly think they're either holding back to Monday to release the death of them, possibility. But I
think that's bogus. I hate to. I think you was on to something with the bug in the truck and GPSs and stuff like that. But the body, I think the body in that reserve, I think that's a bogus. I think that's bogus.
Do you think they'd have to release that immediately like they did with Gabby, or?
Yeah, the TMZ be all over that shit. TMZ got cameras in alligators' asses. You know what I'm saying? They would know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they probably got cameras on alligators there.
You know what I'm
and
saying?
GPS,
That's how
like
they get
Discovery
inside
and all that.
photos, right? That's how they got pictures of the campsite. They got alligators wired up for sound.
Yeah, there was
you
one
know
woman said. There was one woman said if you look up the Carlton Reserve, you can actually see live camera there. They got trail cameras
TMZ
up there.
right now is strapping GoPros to pelicans. You know what I'm saying? So they got the area.
Yeah.
They got the area. We see them. Right now we're tuned into Pelican View. You know what I'm saying? The pelicans is swooping over.
Uh-huh.
You can't mess with TMZ,
yeah.
man.
So,
they're always there.
So what do you think about the theory that he's reenacting that because he knows he's done? And like I said, I think he was a beer drinker because there's a lot of witnesses said he was in the bars. Now, I know she said that they didn't drink, but she's on video camera that she ain't going to tell them everything they do, their whole life history.
Yeah, I agree. She's only showing the good stuff when they're happy. Ha ha ha. She ain't showing when he's smacking her around.
Yeah. And I don't mean to, right, we ain't talking bad about her in general. We're just talking the fact that we see on the video cam, like, you know, and we think about ourselves and like, man, I know that there was a guy that said that they did search the vehicle. They asked if there was any weapons in the vehicle. They didn't ask shit. They didn't even ask for the registration.
No, that's crazy, man. I don't know where the police are. Some people said it was staged because police don't act like that and stuff. I heard of so many different conspiracies. I was like, I don't think it was staged. I just think it was bad police work.
Yeah, I highly doubt that was staged. They would have been in more trouble than what they're in now. You know that the chief stepped down.
I bet he did. They need to fire all them cops. They should never be a cop again after that domestic violence situation that led to that girl's death, and they didn't do nothing about it.
Right. Now, your one caller, like a few callers after me, she was talking about, like, the 3 cops being involved in it, and that's why he ain't come forward and stuff, which would, in theory, you would be afraid of the police if you knew that they actually killed your girlfriend.
But not if I was
on the run.
10 states away from the police that did it. Like, if some Indian, Utah...
that park is only, what, 4 hours away?
From Florida?
No, the Moab cops.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, when he got back to Florida, if he was scared of the Moab police, why didn't he go in Florida and say, look, man, the Moab police killed my girlfriend. I think they're trying to kill me. I need witness protection. You know, my girlfriend's missing. Not run off and be like, all right, deuces.
Yeah, you know, and that's another thing I was thinking, not to throw it off subject. He could be in a safe house or he could be in a church as well. Because I heard in a church they can't come in a church and arrest you.
They can't come They can't come into a mental hospital and arrest you. If you check this stuff into a mental hospital, they can't come in and arrest you, but they can wait for you to get released at the door and arrest you.
Yeah, then they would know where he's at, but do you think they would let us know that?
Nuh-uh. If he checked himself into a mental hospital, they wouldn't know where he's at because his information is classified under patient.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now because my girlfriend's brother checked himself in and they wouldn't give me certain information, but when I told him I knew for a fact he was there and gave him specific details, then they let me talk to him.
Yeah, yeah, so I guess, you know, like that, because that's why, like, I don't know if you were familiar with the Nipsey Hussle, but the guy that killed Nipsey Hussle was trying to check himself into a mental hospital.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. Now, I do know in the state of Ohio that if you go, I don't know he's not murder charges, it's just credit card fraud. I know if you go into a church and you can live in the church if the pastor and all that's going to let you. You can live in that church, and they cannot go into that church and get you. But I don't know if it was if they upped it to a murder warrant, then it might be different. You see what I mean?
Well, I know. I don't know because I think they arrested the TBK killer at his church.
Did they? Okay. Well, they.
Well, I don't know if they killed him, but here I know this information for a fact that he was corresponding with a reporter, the TBK killer, because he hadn't killed nobody in so many years, and that. The reporter wrote a cold case story on him saying, you know, he thought he was dead. So the actual TBK killer wrote the reporter and he sent a little piece of clothing. that was like bloodstained from like the 80s, right?
Uh-huh.
So then the reporter put out something else. So what the dude did was TBK burn a disc on his computer and sent it to the reporter. I learned something in the TBK case. When you burn a disk on the computer, it also burns your IP address onto the disk. The FBI got the disk, got the IP address, and it led them to this church. The TBK was like a deacon or something at the church, and he was the only person with access to the computer. That was the lead that tipped them to the TBK killer, and that's how they captured him.
Okay. Well, that's good for you to clear some things up like that. That's why I mentioned that, because I see that there's a lot of people say, oh, he's in a safe house or he's there. And I honestly think he's reacting his whole trip over again, maybe to see what went wrong. Like if he was drunk and flipped out and just, I don't know. I think there was a gun involved because of the Mustang picture. Everybody's trying to say that's a butane, but you can see her hands wrapped around the pistol grip, and you can see the trigger guard on that in that picture. You can't see clearly, but I know what a gun looks like. I own several of them.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's not hard to mistake what a gun is. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like they had toy guns.
Yeah. Now maybe Gray Hughes, he might be able to fact that out for us. I don't know. You ever heard of that guy?
Gray Hughes?
He's a YouTuber. He's a dipshit, buddy. He's smart, don't get me wrong, but just the way he treats, like you're laid back. You pretty much listen to whatever, anything, and whatever people tell you, and you don't run them down. You see what I mean?
You know why? Because I grew up listening to Art Bell, and you could tell Art Bell the most craziest shit. And he'd ride with it. Even if he didn't believe it or if he thought you was a fruitcake, he would never say that. He would treat you with just the same respect he treats anybody with.
Yeah, and that's
Always.
the way it should be. I see that's what you do, and that Gray Hughes, he just runs people down. This is my show. I run it how I want. I'm thinking, like, why do these people even call in and talk to this guy? I mean, I don't. You're the only YouTuber I've ever called and talked to.
Yeah, I am, dude. Most people tell you, and here's the thing: I don't put on a show for YouTube. A lot of people have met me from this channel, and they'll tell you I am exactly the same person you see here in person. You know, it's
so what state
no difference.
You out of?
I'm in Virginia.
In Virginia. Oh, you're not that far from me at all.
Yeah, and you know, maybe if they're right and he's in the Appalachian Trail, he's not too far from me. You know, he's probably
because Virginia is that, like I was telling you, dude. I know his voice. I can't say, because some people do look a little different when you see him on YouTube, and then you see him there. You see what I'm saying? But I honestly think he's up there. The Triple Crowns, it's an area that's got Dragon Tooth connected to it. It's got the Thunder Ridge connected to it, and it's got, I think, the Apple Orchard connected to it. You can get it all around. That's why they call it the Triple Crowns, and it's in Virginia. Supposedly his grandfather, I don't know what side of the family it is, but his grandfather lives in North Carolina, everybody keeps saying.
Feed the Fire says, I don't like Gary Hughes or Jay for Justice or what is this?
There you go. See what I'm saying?
Cooper. I don't know any of these people. You know what I'm saying? I've been
on YouTube
for years. I don't have any clue who any of those are. I do a lot of YouTubing. I don't do a lot of watching people on YouTube.
Yeah, you can check him out. He's like a bookworm snob. Like, I mean, he's just.
Why would I want to watch? If I can't vibe with you, I can't watch you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I've seen that Jay for Justice, but I didn't go on his shit.
Yeah, like if I watch it, I don't feel like you're a chill dude, and I can listen to you, or if I couldn't feel like I could hang out with you, I probably wouldn't watch you on YouTube.
Right, exactly. Yep, yeah. Because like I say, there's been a couple YouTubers that I've looked at and stuff. Obviously, people's liking our conversation, because if not, they'd be throwing them bad. Oh, get that guy off. He's writing a book. You know,
He's writing a book.
I'm not trying to write no book, but I'm just trying to throw some things out there that's in the general idea that, because I've watched just.
Well, what we're going to do is when people want to kick the caller off the phone, they got to super chat $5. They got to support the channel.
Okay, and I seen you ain't really got many calls tonight. That could be because that number's wrong on that. It's
good. Let's leave it that way.
All right.
Let's leave it wrong. We ain't changing it now.
Right. Yeah. So I just think that, you know, you got to think, if he murdered that, if he really loved her and he did kill her, his mind's probably haunting him.
Yeah, but
that's one thing that fears me from killing somebody, them coming after my ass. I don't like spirits.
If you really love somebody,
yep.
would you kill them? Even if they break your heart, would you kill them? Like, I think if you really love somebody, you would want the best for them no matter what. You know, a normal person. It would hurt. You know, you might shed a few tears. But in the long run, when it was all over, you'd still want the best for that person.
Yes. I've been with my woman for 14 years and ain't never hit her.
And that's a good thing. You shouldn't.
And I can say never on that because a lot of people say don't never say never, but I can say never on that. I'd walk out. We would split up before I'd start beating her or something. I was raised.
Tracy said he has no remorse. He's a psychopath.
Who, that Gray Hughes or that Brian?
I don't know who she's talking about.
Probably talking about Brian. Probably talking about Brian, and that makes sense. That makes sense because, buddy, when he went back to Florida, there's another girl missing. She ended up in North Carolina behind a firehouse, I believe it was, right around the time that a couple days after they put that arrest warrant out for him.
And you know, this is like all them times that he was staying off in the woods by himself. What if he was out preying on women during them times? And he really wasn't even staying in the woods. You know what I'm saying? He's telling his family, I'm going camping, I'm going to stay in the woods by myself. But really, you out there strangling women or something all over the country. Yeah, because when in that Moab video, the police video in one of them body cams or whatever, they asked him what was on his, I think it was his left hand, and he had wire marks on his hand. He even told the cop it was wire marks. Why wouldn't they question him for that? He had wire marks on. Who had wire marks on his hand? Go back to that body cam, not the second one, the first one that they released. He admits to having wire marks on his, I think it's his left hand, because they asked him, what's them marks up there? And he says, oh, that's wire marks. Well, wire marks is wire wrapping around your hand. Yeah, why would you have wire wrapped around your hand? That's weird. Yeah, I've watched that. I've had to go back through and watch that. Yeah, he definitely 100% says that. I had to go back and do that and everything. Yeah, I had to check. I had to replay it again. Like, everybody's putting out these little fine details of it. Like, I watched it just in general. Like, let me watch it. I didn't, like, study it, like, every hand movement. Like, I didn't watch his eyes shift. You know what I'm saying? I just watched it. I didn't try to really break it down. Kind of like watching a movie. You ain't going to get the first time you watch it. Nobody is. Oh, I know. I mean, I just got the general concept that he was a douchebag beating on his girlfriend. I mean, that's really all I needed to take from it. She's dead. You know what I'm saying? He's a douchebag that beats on her. She's dead. He's missing. Guilty. Right. Now, I've been going through, like, the trail hikers in the Appalachian Trail, because there's a lot of hikers hiking there right now and going through their videos and see if they caught, because they're saying there's a lot of people on that trail that don't even know about him. I was at a McDonald's just about a couple weeks ago, and I just wanted to see, my own survey, and I asked a younger couple if they heard of Gabby PETITO and Brian Laundrie. They said no. Yeah, I know people that haven't heard of it either. And right, any new news updates? No, nothing really today. They haven't caught him. The search continues. People are starting, think more and more he's a serial killer. So Dog the Bounty Hunter either came out and said, he thinks this dude's a serial killer. He was reading some pretty strange books that, depicted demons and things. I don't mean the books made him do it. But I guess he's into some creepy stuff. He likes serial killer books. Now there's all these dead bodies, and this dude is missing. So that's why the video is titled. Basically, is this man a serial killer? That's what I want to hear from you guys tonight on the phone line. Is he a serial killer? I honestly think there's probably a 9 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10. I'm kind of lost a little bit too, but you know what I mean? Because is his dad, here's another theory you can throw out there, is his dad the Long Island serial killer? Because all that shit stopped for a while too. His father? Well, they're from that area, Long Island. And you believe his dad could be this Long Island serial killer? I don't believe it. I'm just putting that out there as like a joke.
like a joke, more or less, but it could be possible. You never, with things going on nowadays, because the thing is, they were from that Long Island. I think Brian would be too young at that time to be doing that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I don't think he'd have a driver's license. I'm 41. He would have been, like 15, I think, at that time, because it's been a while for the Long Island serial killers. But there's like, I think 5 or 8 of them that they called him the Long Island serial killer. But you got to think, his dad, he's an older guy. He's a strong dude. You can tell he's got some hellified muscle. For a smaller guy, he's got some pretty good tone to him for 62 years old.
Yeah. I mean, because he probably lived a healthy life, hiking them trails, burying bodies.
Right, yeah, burying bodies. Right.
Burying bodies keep you healthy.
Everywhere he goes seems to be a trail of nothing but missing people coming up. I just hope that when you see that video on the 9/27/2021, that woman's all right, the one she was talking to, because remember that? I was a little confused when I talked to you last night, being the first time I ever stage fright, more or less, is what you would call it. But that Rose Davis is Gabby Petito's best friend, and she is from Florida. So now that Dennis Davis was the new witness, and he kind of sweetens the pot up and kind of, I don't know, there was just something that, like, maybe he did talk to him, but maybe he didn't. But he said white or light Ford F-150. Hell, that's what that dude was when they showed the Appalachian Hunting for Brian on the Appalachian Trail movie video with the Wild Wilderness Canoe Company YouTube channel.
I have no clue. I haven't tracked it down like that. I haven't.
I noticed from mine and yours conversation last night, somebody went on Joseph Morris's conversation and talked about mine and yours conversation with the whole, about me telling you about him. You know this from last night. Me telling you about him reenacting that whole trip to see what went wrong, because his mind's probably in a rage.
I don't know. I hear what you're saying. I don't know if it's hard for me to picture somebody going, okay, he's going to go back and I can see criminals do reenact their murders in their brain, but I don't think they go back to I don't know, what was it, the Green River Killer? He would go back to scenes and reenact that stuff in his mind. So you might be on to something. What was his name? Gary Goodridge or something like that?
I can't remember, but I remember it wasn't that back in the 70s or something like that, or the 80s?
But he would stage the bodies, because I don't know if Gabby was killed there or she was dragged there, but he would stage the bodies near the Green River, and he would go back and do sexual things with himself while he reimagined the killings.
Yeah, all the sick shit, right?
Yeah, all the sick stuff, because he was a sexual predator. Like, he was a murderer, but he was a sexual predator murderer. Like, he did it for sexual. It turned him on to kill people. Yeah,
because you got to think like a killer. You know what I mean? That's what they say, but it's hard to. I'm not trying to go into that deep, but I just wish the guy would get caught. And a lot of people's wondering, well, why is she so popular? That's because she had her life in YouTube and on Instagram and Twitter and all that. She had a lot of followers.
Yeah, and the internet gravitated towards it because she was one of us. So why not talk about it? Why not bring attention to it? If I got chopped up and ended up, I would want one of you guys to go make a video about me.
Right? Yeah. No, that's
justice for Jimmy.
Hell yeah, we all think he's guilty. You see your comment. Hell yeah, we think he's all guilty.
Okay, look, man, I want to thank you for calling in tonight. It was good chopping it up with you, and I'll talk to you next time. There are some more details out. We'll flip it back and forth.
Yeah, and I don't mean he's reenacting the whole thing, but you got to think, me and you know about that serial killer being up there for 5 years not getting caught. He probably does too. That's what I'm saying. There's a good chance he is in the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah. All right. I'll talk to you next time.
Yep. Peace out.
Peace. Yeah. All right. Hold on, guys. Let me talk 1 minute before the phone rings. I do believe, that killers reenact this. It's like they fantasize about it until that fantasy's old, and then they go out and do something crazy again. So they have that fresh, in their mind. And, anybody watch them Silence of the Lambs. You know what I'm saying? Hannibal Lecter. You do got to think like a serial killer. You know, what drives them? And there is a good possibility that this dude has tendencies that he could be a serial killer. You know, he's a white male. He's what, in his early 30s, right about 30 years old, which is a little young, okay? A little young, but maybe he slipped up early, okay? He's a loner. He don't have any friends that just out blatantly will talk about, hey, that's my friend. That's, you know what I'm saying? He likes to be alone. He disappears for long periods of time by himself. Nobody knows where he's at. That sounds like a serial killer to me. And if you think this dude might be a serial killer, call in. Let me know. Do you think Brian Laundrie is a serial killer? Jamz TV, Dolly Vision.
Hey, it's Nikki.
Nikki. What's up?
Hey, okay, so there, if you go on Google Maps, right, and you look up that little co-op, okay, that one of those girls that were murdered worked at, I think that it was Kylan who worked there, okay, either Kylan or Crystal, one of them worked at that little co-op, okay, that let me turn this down, I'm sorry. Okay, so one of them worked at that little co-op that that someone had called the police, you know, reporting that they had seen Brian hitting Gabby, okay?
Yeah.
And okay, if you go on Google Maps and you look, the hotel is that Brian stayed at, the police got for Brian, is literally like less than a minute walk from the co-op. Okay,
how,
so my
how far
theory,
of a walk from the co-op?
it's like a minute walk. It's like right there. It's like right there. Like you could see the co-op and the sign for the hotel. It's like right there. Like you can walk to it in like a minute.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
give me your theory.
Okay, so August 12th, okay, was when the people had called and said that, you know, they had seen Brian hitting Gabby, okay? That was also the date that the cops pulled over Brian and Gabby, right? And we saw the whole body cam footage and whatnot. Okay, so that means that August 12th is the night that he spent the night at that hotel, okay? And they were seen fighting right outside of that co-op. Okay, so what if Brian, because they didn't tell him who called, right? They didn't tell Brian like who called. They just said that there was two people who called. I think they told him there was two people anyways. So what if he was like, well, dang, I know that I hit her right outside of the co-op, so it must be someone in the co-op that, you know, called. And then, and she was working, either, I can't remember who it was, but Crystal or Kylan, they were reported that they were working on August 12th. So what if he got into that hotel and then he went for a little walk to go to the co-op and try to find out like who called or who's seen him or whatever, and then somehow made a determination that, you know, that girl was responsible or whatever, and then, you know, somehow, like, I don't know, either befriended them or whatever, followed them back to their campsite, you know, and
So
then
they just
did something.
or,
and there's no evidence. What?
Or there's two killers in the same location. What's the odds of that?
Yeah. But, like, there's no evidence, right, at the crime scene for the two girls, because it was, like, raining, like, really hard and hailing for, like, 3 days straight. So they were last seen on August 13th, but they weren't found until the 18th, right? But for like 3 days straight after the 13th, it was raining and hailing. So there's like no evidence of like tire tracks or footprints or anything.
Feed the Fire says, I don't see Brian cooped up in a hotel. Yeah, maybe he was out and about, like, oh, let me take a walk. And he goes off and he kills people. And maybe he is an active serial killer, and Gabby just hooked up with the wrong person.
Yeah, and then that book, it talks about four women, whatever, going out into the wilderness, and three of them get killed, and only one survives, and the one stays in that location, stays out in the wilderness. So I don't know. And then also, I wanted to set the record straight. So Gabby's mom, this kind of like, it's on subject but off subject. So Gabby's mom, everyone's saying that like she reported Gabby missing on the September 11th or something like that. Yeah, something like that. Anyways, but like that's not the real date that she actually reported Gabby missing. She tried to report Gabby missing a long time before that. I think like as soon as like September 1st, she was trying to report Gabby missing.
Yeah.
But when she called to report Gabby missing, they told her that, well, you can't report someone missing who's known to be on like vacation. So she was having a really hard time like getting the authorities to actually report her as a missing person. But she was trying since like I think as soon as September 1st, but the report wasn't actually taken until the 11th.
Okay, yeah, because she is an adult and she was out and about, and until there's a body, she could be anywhere. Some people just disappear. Right. If you're 18 years old, you can get in your car and never come back. Don't gotta call anybody. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean you're dead. That just means, hey, maybe I've had enough of this.
But like I feel like as soon as he got back, right, with the van without her, the police should have taken it seriously from that point forward, right? So and that was September 1st. So I mean, I feel like they should have taken it seriously when he came back without her van. So I think that was like really fucked up on the authorities' part, because that's kind of like a crazy thing, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, that's
like,
right.
Can you imagine
there.
being her mother and calling and being like denied by her being filed as a missing person, and being like, her fiance just came back in the van they were traveling without her. Why won't you report her?
It's her van too. If it was his van, I could get it. But her van, that's a whole other story.
Yeah, and the authorities telling her, sorry, we can't report her missing because she was on vacation. Can you imagine that? How mad, like, how just unlogical that would be, and how frustrating that would be, like, to be the parent in that situation receiving that feedback from the authorities. Like, God, that irritates me so bad. Like, I've been a victim of domestic violence. Like, my daughter was given to a 6-time felon, at the age of 3 in family court, like, after, like, he set me up. And anyways, I did everything to prove, what he said about me was wrong and whatever. But it was like, since I already, like, lost her, it was, like, so much harder to, like, get my custody back. It was like, the more I fought, the more I lost, right? And it's like, every time we'd go to court, right, and you're sitting next to this person who, like, abused you, right, and you're just, like, freaking out, like, emotionally, right, and they just sit there cool, calm, and collected, like, and they're very likable people, it's crazy, like, it's just so insane.
Yeah, but people, when they go out in public, they don't show their real selves, and sometimes when they're home, the real person comes out, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's a lot of that. People want to people perceive them a certain way, so they act like this when they're around people, but when they're by themselves, it's a whole different energy. I get that.
Right, yeah.
Look, Nikki, I want to thank you for calling in. If we touch on any more details, you're more than welcome to call back. But I want to touch with a few people because I don't have a super lot of time tonight, so I want to grab a few people. Okay.
You're good. Have a good night, Jimmy.
All right, Nikki. Peace.
Good night. Bye.
Okay, guys. There's 330. Hold on. Let me talk for 1 second before I take a call. There's like 330 of you guys here with me right now. Real important. Give this video a like. And then after you do that, I want you guys to sub up. Do a solid for your boy. Help us hit them numbers we need on YouTube. I can't do it without you, right? I can't do it without you, right? So I need you to hit that sub button. I need you to give the video a like. And then after you do that, and I'm a patient person, I'm gonna give you a second. I want you to shout out where you're watching from, and I'll take calls in a second, where you're watching from, where your beautiful face is watching my ugly ass from. Put it in the chat room. I see Alabama's in the house. This is your time for you guys to represent your beautiful states, your cities, your countries, whatever. Throw it in the chat room. Colorado Springs is in the house. We got some Hawaii in the house. Yeah, I bet it's like summertime. California, more Alabama, North Carolina's in the house. Let's see. Hold on, guys. California, Seattle, Arizona, Canada, more North Carolina, Connecticut, Alberta, Canada, Michigan, Mississippi, Cali, more Mississippi, Australia, the UK, Miami. I don't know where that is, right? Florida, Oklahoma. It's going a little fast. We got some Oklahoma in the house. I know the bail bonds, but if you need to get out of jail in Oklahoma, I got you. New Mexico, New York, Los Angeles, Phoenix, Arizona. From Brian Laundrie's parents' house. There you go. That's a good place to be. You're in the flower garden. Upside Down Steve's in the house. What's up, Upside Down Steve? PA is in the house. RC. I don't know where RC is. What is that? Where's RC? Texas is in the house. Florida's in the house. South Carolina's in the house. LOL. What I've been saying. Fake/poser. Louisiana's in the house. Pluto, Lynchburg, Virginia. Shout out to my VA people. Australia. Oh, thanks, Tracy. West Virginia's in the house. Cali. So look, we're covering it almost, anywhere he could hide. More California in the house. Is that California? Nebraska, cornfields is in the house. Bobo. That sounds like somebody to be from Nebraska. Where you from, Bobo? Nebraska. This sounds like it fits, right? Bobo, Nebraska. Kansas. Like if I was from Nebraska, my channel would be like Jim Bob. Yo, that's Jim Bob, man. Instead of Jimmy Jamz. The foothills of North Carolina, you better watch out for him. He might be close to you. No one liked this video. The only Washington State. Subscribe. Thank you. So who here? I looked up at my analytics and it was like a lot of people that's watching are not subbed to my channel. So if you're super cool and you just got a minute, look, that don't mean you got to watch my face all the time. All it is a click of a button looking out for a homeboy. You just clicking a button. Don't even cost you nothing. Just boop, right? That's all you got to do. And for the guys who donate through the super chat and the cash apps and stuff like that, thank you guys. That's super awesome of you. And I'm going to be shouting you guys out in the upcoming next video to everybody that's donated to Dolly Vision and Dolly and Jamz TV. Appreciates all the support. It helps keeps the light on, the cable bill, which I need to pay the cable bill. I know that's a little off topic, but I need to pay my cable bill, and I probably need to pay it first thing in the morning because I'm surprised we got internet tonight because I forgot to pay the bill. Not that I didn't have the money to pay the bill, I just forgot to pay it, right? And I still haven't paid it because I got online and started streaming when I probably should have called up and paid the bill. Priorities. I gotta do something about that. But I work till 10. Then I gotta get in. I gotta tag the videos and gotta set up the stuff. Thumbnail got to get made. Takes a little bit of time. So boom, here I am. And I ain't gonna be up here as late tonight because I got some other things that I want to take care of that's related to still some YouTube stuff, right? But for my other channel. And I want to get some video stuff shot for that before I had to crash out tonight. I gotta work tomorrow, guys, right? But here's the crazy thing. I know I've been just bringing you guys late night stuff, and that's super awesome for all you guys that are tuning in late night. But I'm off work the next 3 days. Okay, I don't know who this lady is on my screen, but we gotta get her off there. I'm gonna be off for the next 3 days, so I am gonna be bringing some shows during the day. Usually during the day, I don't do the call-ins, okay? Usually only at night do I do the call-ins, but I might change that up a little bit. I might do some live stuff where you guys can come up live. I might do a little bit of the call-ins, little segments of the call-ins. Usually during the day, it's just me rambling and talking when I'm live. I don't like to be bothered with people, because I talk to so many people at night that during the day, I like to not have people's voice in my head so I don't go insane. But the good thing is, like I said, I got 3 days off of work. I don't even know what to do. I'm like, yes, thank you. So I'm going to get a lot of YouTube stuff out the way, for stuff I need to do. I'm working on a new intro for Dolly Vision Jamz TV. Boom, there's going to be a new intro coming soon. There'll probably be some new t-shirts and other new things. So there's some stuff I need to get done anyway. And I've been working so many hours that it's like I'm neglecting my YouTube duties. And I've still been pulling a lot of hours because you figure I'm doing 8-9 hours at work, and at least 4 hours a night on YouTube. But I'm only going to do about 2.5 tonight. Okay, so I'm getting out of here in about 20 minutes. But I'm still going to take some calls. We're still going to chop it up. I got to roll up, get it popping, grab me another soda. And if you got something you want to add to this, like I said, just give me a minute and we'll continue what we got going on. Jamz TV, Dolly Vision. All right, we ain't gonna start with that, guys. Let me throw this out there. If you call the show and I can hear me in the background, okay, I'm not gonna talk to you because it just feedbacks in my headphones. So if you calling in to the call-in number that right now should be on the screen right here, then turn the video down in the background. Because if you're talking to me on the phone, you don't need to hear me on the internet because you're listening to me on the phone. Okay. So with that said, give me 1 second. I just got to reach over here with my go-go gadget arm and grab me a soda out this refrigerator that's sitting about 5 feet to my left. So let me turn this camera off for a second. Let me grab a soda and we'll get this. I'm gonna be right here with you, but we'll take some calls in just 1 minute. Okay, usually at this time I would have music playing, but I haven't paid my bill on my music royalties, which I need to pay. That's one of them other things along with the cable bill. You don't think there's no expenses that come with YouTube, but there is. So I got to pay that, and that's the reason why when I jump into the screen, there's no music because I got to pay for royalty rights to certain music, and I haven't paid. So I can't use the music right now. So I got to pay that tomorrow when I pay the cable bill. And then when I'm hold on a minute, guys, we can take a little break. It'll play some music or a song will play. And you know what I'm saying? We'll have something going on for you guys to watch. We're all working on that, to make it just a little bit better experience for you. And so that's coming soon too. That's a recording of me. Just do the song Saturday night. We want soda. Bobo wants some soda. Bobo from Nebraska. Now, look, I remember where Bobo is from the whole time. I probably couldn't tell you anywhere but Nikki, and the one girl from Boston and the one girl from Cali. I can tell you where they're from. But Bobo, out of everybody in the room, I'll remember where he's from because Bobo is from Nebraska. I don't know why, but I will. It's weird shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I know somebody said they were from Hawaii, but I won't remember who that is. I remember Art Bell had that problem. Jimmy, what you doing awake still? Well, I sleep. I work 2 to 10. Okay? I work 2 to 10 shift. So it's like second shift. So I don't have to be to work till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I get off at 10. I got a YouTube, right? I ain't like all these other YouTubers, that are all rich, got a Lambo and shit. You know what I'm saying? My raggedy ass Jeep. But anyway, I got to go to work. So I work the whole, like I said, the 2 to 10 shift. So I'm wide awake because I didn't wake up to I didn't wake up today to 1:30. Had to be to work at 2. So then I go to work. I come back, take a shower, eat something, set up the stream. I'm here. It's like two jobs. People just don't think YouTube is a job, but I try to tell them YouTube is a lot of work. It is just ain't as easy as, you got to be constant. If you're not consistent, you'll never be able to grow a YouTube channel. It's like a consistency thing. You got to be like, boom. People got to know at 12 o'clock when I turn on YouTube, Jimmy Jamz is on. So I give people that every day. You know what I'm saying? But I'm really unpredictable on the times. But lately, because, all this work I've been doing, I've been pretty consistent on my time frame. It's usually from like 12 to 4. Right? But tonight I started at 1. I needed a little bit more time because I didn't eat nothing today. And I was starving. So, and I tried to tell people, I was like, man, the sacrifices I make. So I had to like scarf down some food real quick. Lucky I didn't choke to death, Then it'd be like, we'll turn on the news and they wouldn't even talk about me. It'd just be like, yo, some dude choked to death on a burrito. That'd be it, So I did that and bam. So I try to tell people I work 2 jobs. YouTube don't pay me good. But maybe one day, that's the hope anyway. It's like a little baby tree. We just keep it growing, Jimmy, I got to run. It was nice chilling with you tonight. Nikki, you be good. I'll see you when there's some info. Get you some rest. So hold on one second. Let me throw this up here while I twist this. I don't do those things on YouTube. But like I said, I had predicted 10 days, and I think I was wrong. I'm really starting to want to predict. If he is, like I said, if he's an Appalachian, I still ain't going to say it's going to take 5 years, because maybe the guy that took 5 years to catch him in the Appalachian Trail was really a good outdoorsman. And like people have said that Brian is like a backpacker at best. I don't, if that's offensive to hikers, you a backpacker. You ain't no survivalist. You a hiker. Is that like a disrespectful kind of thing? Like, man, you ain't a skater. You ride a damn scooter. What are the little things people kick around? Yeah, like the little kick scooters. They'd be like, yeah. That's how skaters were back in the day if you rode like rollerblades. Remember when people rode rollerblades? You'd be like, man, you ain't no skater. You ride damn rollerblades. He is only making it if people are helping him. I said the same thing. I believe there's a girl. I always believe there's another girl. In any good movie, true crime movie, and this is kind of like a movie, there's always another girl. Maybe he was telling the girl, yeah, me and Abby ain't getting along. I said Abby. Gabby, my bad. I apologize. Ain't getting along, and and he had somebody that he could cry on, like a shoulder, like, a friend that, a chick. And he's done, told her, oh, I killed Gabby, but this is why. It'll all come out, and she's hiding them or helping them. Because I just can't see the man going, like I said, his whole life, not having any friends, nobody he could run to. There's like, even if I killed somebody today, there's a lot of places I could go run all over. But I'm a YouTuber. That's a little bit different. But even before I was a YouTuber, there was places I could run before, all over the country, and people would hire me because I had friends, because I'm a decent person. If you're a decent person, you're going to have friends. But at the same time, if you're a decent person, you ain't going to be killing your girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he's never been a decent person, so that's why we don't hear much from his friends. He's always just been a dirtbag, douchebag, or however, psychopath. And the way to me it's looking now is, man, there's a really good possibility this dude might be a serial killer. What do you think? What do you guys think? Let me hear it. He said he lived off the land, didn't have help. Hold on, I'm trying to catch up on some of your comments. Didn't have help, and I believe it because the reward for him was a meal. Man, I would, like if somebody had $1 million reward on them, we need to start a company that tracks people down. That's what we do. It'll be like we'll have an intro song that's Jamz, the bounty hunter. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully we won't get sued by dog. And then we'll go catch these criminals that are worth only big money. We won't go after none of those small time people. We only go after the big dogs. Feed the Fire says definitely serial killer potential. Brian's posted up at someone's house. Some women are that stupid. I believe that. I ain't saying that women are stupid. Some women are geniuses, right? And then some women are just blinded by the D. I don't know how else to say it, or like, I don't know. They overlook some things, or they don't want to believe things because they like you. Or I don't know. Maybe I just think there's always a chick involved in everything evil in this world. I'm just playing. I am just completely playing about that. But I mean, there's a possibility. Come on now. Everybody acts like, oh, well, Gabby, he loved Gabby. He loved Gabby so much he wouldn't be killing her. Jamz TV, Dolly Vision.
Yeah, Charlie from Kentucky. You mentioned something here the other night, and it sort of stuck with me. You were saying they ought to pick his parents up on some charge.
Yeah.
Well, if it was me or you, and we brought somebody's vehicle back that was dead and come across 10 states, they would probably put us in jail for Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, but at that time, the vehicle hadn't been reported stolen.
Yeah, but now that they know the timeline, why can't they go back?
Yeah, because he brought it back. The parents didn't bring it back.
No, but is the parents not guilty of receiving stolen property if it's on their property?
No, because I looked into this. I'm glad you asked this question because I did do some research into this today. Don't think I just say things and don't dig into it a little bit on some things. If before he was charged with credit card fraud, any assistance that his parents gave him wasn't illegal.
Okay. That makes sense.
Before that, right? Before they brought the credit card charges on him, any assistance is not illegal. So if they helped him, whatever they did, it's not illegal to help your son. He's not a criminal at that point. We got to remember, he's not been charged with murder, and he wasn't charged. No. It was later on he was charged with credit card fraud. So any assistance they did to him, they didn't break any laws. He wasn't a criminal.
Right.
He was a suspected criminal.
And I think he's going to be suspected of a lot more than just Gabby.
Yeah, I do too. I think he does have serial killer. If we're going with, like, your damn Hannibal Lecter profile, he's about the age white gentleman. He tends to be a loner. He tends to and we know now he's into serial killers and serial killer books and this role playing fantasy demons and horrible type imagery. He has all the makings of a serial killer.
Yeah, and there's no doubt in my mind that he didn't have Gabby's self-esteem beat to a pulp by watching the films on the Moab Police Department.
Yeah, that's Stockholm syndrome.
You're right. He had her emotionally tore up. Her self-esteem was, probably down around her ankles.
Yeah. I mean, he was a horrible dude, man. He's a horrible dude. He's still a horrible dude, and hopefully he'll get what comes to horrible people. This is proof that the boogeyman is real. You know what I'm saying? It ain't always. Yeah. It ain't always what's under your bed. Sometimes it could be the person next to you in your bed.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That might be scarier than the boogeyman. The boogeyman sometimes just wants to tickle your feet. The person laying next to you sometimes wants to slash your throat.
That's right. But the sooner they catch him, the better off I think a whole lot of us is going to feel, because until he's caught, the general public is not going to feel like that there's justice for Gabby.
Yeah, I mean, I really, if he don't like take his own life or they don't execute him, I'll never feel like there's justice for the girl.
And the only part that I want to watch, I hope the trial is televised, because I want to watch the victims' impact statements.
Yeah, I don't know. Them are the hardest parts to watch. Is when the families come up there at the end and it's like, you piece of crap, I hope you burn and die. It's always the saddest stuff to watch, man. To me,
it is. But to see them face the killer and him have to sit there and look at it means something to the general public.
I'd be wanting to jump over the thing and bite him in the face. That was my family, my kid. You know what I'm saying? They better have a lot of. They better have a lot of deputies in the courtroom that day. Quick.
I agree with you.
All right,
well,
look,
brother,
homie,
it's nice talking to you. Listen,
right,
I watch
Charlie.
you every night.
Thank you,
take
homie.
care.
Thank you.
Peace.
All right, peace. All right, that was Charlie. I'm getting better with everybody's names. I'm trying to remember for you guys that call in frequently. But you notice the Jamz fam that call in, like, we're free to be, and everybody calls in. I know exactly who it is just by the first mumble of voice out their mouth. Jamz TV, Dolly Vision.
Hi.
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Hello.
Okay, there's a delay.
Hi. I'm just playing with you. I'm playing with you. Who's this, and where are you calling from?
This is Patrick. I'm calling from Virginia. I sent you them photos last
Oh,
night,
what's up, Patrick? The photos were pretty cool, man. Give me a walkthrough of what you were seeing in them photos. Are you seeing evidence markers? Is that what you was pointing out?
When you were pointing out the evidence markers, like, they were coinciding with body parts. Like, there's a mass in the middle right there that I mean, where I had the red outline, that was her body, and the way one of her arms was laying, I had her body outline. You can't, like, visibly see it because it zoomed in so far, but you can kind of see where a body would be laying.
So you think she was ripped apart?
No, I think she's like kind of bundled, kind of like her legs are kind of bent underneath her, and one arm is out, and the other arm is laying across her torso, and her head's cocked towards if you're looking at a TV screen, it would be cocked towards the east. It looks like she might have a cap on or something.
Huh.
But, I mean, it's just my opinion, but, you know, I wondered why nobody had ever talked about it. You'd think people would be...
So many people think she was killed at the van and dumped there. You know,
I think that might be a possibility too. I think, like,
but what are the evidence markers? If they're my evidence markers, what are they marking?
He might have dropped stuff. You know, who knows? I mean, they said there was a backpack or something around the surroundings. I think they were still arguing from after. I think it happened right after they left that restaurant. He was already on his way to, like, freaking out all the time. And he freaked out on that waitress in the restaurant, and she was embarrassed. I think, you know, things had just escalated. He'd been going home, and on the way to wherever they were going, something happened while they were arguing. He got mad, choked her. And
people are asking, where can they see the images? I showed the images on our stream last night. We were going over the images, and I was talking about the evidence markers. And yeah, I remember when you had it outlined in red, but I didn't know exactly what you was outlining. I couldn't see her body. I figured her body was more towards the back of the tent, but now I understand because I had got you on the phone of what you had traced out. But there's definitely a clear, to me, what it appears to be is like definitely a line of evidence markers going in a direction. Now, I don't know if she was running and dropped something, or you know what I'm saying? Or
and that's
blood.
Why it looks like she's crumpled or something, kind of crumpled over with her legs underneath her. She could have been running or something, you know.
I don't know. So, how do you think she died? I mean, just a theory. What's your theory on how do you think she died?
My personal opinion is he just had enough, and lost control and choked her to death or hit her with a rock. It's one of the. I don't necessarily think he shot her. I understand that if you travel across the country, you carry a gun. I mean, that's just you'd be dumb not to. And I have experience with the Appalachian Trail and backpacking and outdoors, and I don't think he's there, to be honest. And if he is, he's really stupid, because this is the best time of year. This is like the end of the year prime hiking because it's cooling down. There are tons of people all over the Appalachian Trail. Now it's 1,300 miles long and spans a bunch of states, but people are really communal. Like, they speak to each other. They want to borrow things. They want to know who, and you go by a nickname. You don't go by your first name. Everybody has a nickname that someone on the trail gives them. And, you sleep near each other. Everybody notices everybody, because you don't want to, you see somebody that's isolated, not wanting to speak. That sticks out, and it gets around it just gets around to other hikers, because these people are career hikers, and it's definitely not survivalist type stuff, but it's hard. It's definitely hard, and he ain't in Florida. If I'm gonna tell you right, I've been canoeing in Florida for 2 weeks along the Peace River, and the whole way along it's hard, and all along the way is nothing but sulfur water. You either got to have a water filtration system, water filtration tablets, or you're drinking sulfur water, because they have spots all along trails and all kinds of stuff all over Florida, and it's all sulfur water. It tastes like rotten eggs. So all your dried foods are mixed with sulfur water.
Okay, hold on. Let me read this real quick. It says her stepdad said he put the cross where her torso was and 2 flowers where her head was, which was near the center of the cross.
I see. I didn't hear that, but I mean, that doesn't look like the spot to me where the tent was either. Where the cross is, that didn't look like where they had that tent set up. And like you said last night, that tent, she was under that tent. They wouldn't have set that tent up just to set it up. She was under.
Why would they have put it over some rocks? I thought the same thing. The tent's covering her body. There's no doubt.
They didn't want that drone
so TMZ can't fly over and, you know what I'm saying, with a pterodactyl and take a picture, because TMZ's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? They have a pterodactyl fly right over there snapping pictures, and they have Gabby's body right on TMZ right now for the world to watch at. That's how disgusting TMZ is. Just be honest. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I wanted to be really sensitive about them photos too. It kind of, because I understand. I didn't want to be disrespectful to the family, but I wondered why nobody is talking about it. And I mean, they have like software where you can basically see unnatural images. It'll discern unnatural images. That's like the guy that showed the gun and her sandals laying on the ground when he ran it through some software and was able to potentially draw out the sandals and a gun.
You can change the lighting and the filter on it and all kinds of stuff, and blow it up, zoom in on certain areas of it, make it take up the whole frame.
I kind of did a little of that myself on those photos before I sent them to you.
Yeah, you can see it was really zoomed in. It was hard. It's like, a Bigfoot thing, but I tried to make the best out of what I could of the pictures. And like I said, it definitely looked like evidence markers, and either something's on the ground there or there's some square rocks and they look the same.
Yeah.
But what's the odds of that? There. That's unnatural. You know what I'm saying? That's whatever it is placed there, and it's an unnatural object. And I believe they're evidence markers.
Yeah. It definitely could, but each spot that little bright white.
Now, where was the cross at? I never seen the cross. I don't know where the cross was at.
See, that's the thing. Like the cross that I've seen on TV, it doesn't match that tent was. Like, it's in a different location from where that tent was.
Some people say there's 2 crime scenes. There's one at a creek and one where Gabby's body was found. That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. It's a creek crime, but that might be wrong. That might be some internet shit. I don't know.
Now, they spray painted 22 different spots with orange spray paint and didn't explain why, but it's obvious that some people speculate it's gunshots. Some people just speculated that it's potential evidence that them to go back and look at that area. They definitely wouldn't spray paint over a gunshot area because that would like damage evidence, you know what I mean? But they'd spray next to it.
Yeah, so they can mark it. Or like
Yeah.
if there's blood on a tree. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? There's
they'd
blood
spray
on
under
this
it or
rock.
over it.
You know what I'm saying? Or they place
Yeah.
them little square markers like where they would put gun shells or something like that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. And that every time you pointed to one of them little white looking square spots, that
There's
coincided.
2 crosses, they say. The chat room says there's 2 crosses that were made. So I'll have to
keep
go
seeing the
back and
one.
look at some of them photos and see. Somebody text a photo to the call-in number if there's crosses. Send them to the text number on right here, guys. If you have the photos, send them to that number right here. Just text them to that number, 757-797-6694. It might be wrong in the title of the video, but it's right down here. That's the actual number. 757.
Yeah, that's where I got the number, was down on the bottom in the description. But
yeah, you know, I'm a stoner, so sometimes you slip up on a number here and there. It might have been a typo.
Yeah, I got you. But I don't really buy the. Now it is strange, some of the books that he was reading. Like there's one, and when he's in the hammock, he's reading this book called Annihilation, and it's about 4 girls that go. It's set in a post-apocalyptic world, and 4 girls go out into the wilderness. 3 of them disappear, or 3 of them are murdered, and 1 disappears and is never found ever again. Now, I do think psychologically that some of this stuff is playing into what is going through his head, because they said it was stated on some news that I saw that he was hearing voices and stuff, and that would, that would be one reason why you would isolate yourself. If you're going crazy in your head, you're not going to talk to anybody. You just aren't. And I think he isolated Gabby anyway, because he wasn't, as far as looks-wise, in my opinion, she was out of his league. I think he knew she was out of his league. I think he was jealous, and he tried to prevent her from interacting with too many people, so, he kept her to herself. I think he was, her becoming successful with YouTube and social media, there were going to be guys in her DMs trying to holler at her regardless of whether she had a boyfriend, and he probably saw some of that, and it just, he was jealous and insecure because
he had a hot chick. But you got to be able to accept that when you date a hot chick.
Exactly.
You know
and you got to be able, you got to know that guys are going to look at her because she's pretty.
Yeah. You probably go to the bar, have a few drinks. You probably gonna get in a couple fights because you with a hot chick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People are disrespectful. It's just, it comes with the territory. But
remember, she's with
I
you
don't
because
think
she
he's
likes
a bad-looking dude. Not in a no homosexual kind of way. But I mean, he's not a gremlin. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got he got all his teeth, and I mean, he ain't got all his hair. But I mean, who does, right? You know what I'm saying? But so I mean, he's not like a hideous dude that he got Gabby, and Gabby's a pretty girl. So even if she's not in his league, there's a league that he plays in. And maybe that league that he plays in, there's somebody hiding him.
Yeah, I do believe that he might. See, his ex-girlfriend's named Gabriella too, the girl before
that's
Gabby.
Super weird.
It is, and they've known each other since high school. They went to high school together, so they've known each other from New York, and then to Florida. So they have a history. They had a history. They weren't dating in high school, but they knew each other and they were friends. So. But I don't know. It just it's a sad thing, and it's crazy. Like, my sister was murdered a year ago.
Oh, wow!
And she didn't. And this was in Texas, but she didn't get any. There was nothing. There still has been nothing. They arrested the people that did it, but there was never
Was it a domestic situation?
No, she was murdered. I don't even know how she was murdered yet. My dad is in denial and doesn't talk about it. He lives in Texas. I'm in Virginia, and I went down there when a week after she was murdered, and tried. but it was during coronavirus. The cops weren't trying to speak to anybody. You know, it kind of pissed me off because I drove 1,700 miles to find out what happened because I couldn't get any answers out of my dad. He's a drunk and, you know, just wants to act like she never existed, really. But
wow, that's sad to hear, man. I'm sorry to hear that. That's terrible.
It is what it is.
You know, everybody's a person in this world, and they, you know, nobody deserves to die, especially in a horrible way like that.
Yeah, she was found floating face up in a river, and the sheriff's office tweeted that they had found. It was on July 4th that they found her body last year, and she was floating face up or face down in the river, and they misidentified her as a male in a tweet, and that's the only thing you can find on social media as far, or in the newspaper or anything, as far as they never corrected the misinformation. They never put her name in the paper. They never announced the arrest of the 4 people that were responsible. Nothing. And
but they did get some people for her death.
Yeah,
right?
Because my sister was involved in some
shady stuff.
Yeah,
shady
meth.
people. Yeah, I got you. I follow you.
And
so she's living that crazy life, and you know, it
caught up to her.
Yeah.
Well, what it was is she was living with a guy who was involved in taking things, like big things, and she had gotten into some trouble. She got into a domestic with her boyfriend, and she was high, and he had shot the neighbor in the leg with a shotgun for some stupid reason. And when they questioned her, she got caught, or when they got there, she got arrested for possession, and they took her to the station, and she started telling on the guy she was living with for stealing stuff, thinking that was going to help her get out, and it did. But word got back,
and they killed her.
Yeah, and he was in jail. He got his friend. She went back to the house to live in the house after she told on him, thinking that because he was in jail.
Well, you know, drugs, man, they don't make you think right. You know, when you get on drugs, you just don't. You know, I ain't talking about smoking some weed or drinking, even beer. I'm talking about hard drugs. That, you know, it messes your brain up. Like even when you ain't on them, your mind is still effed up from being on them.
Yeah, it's a permanent thing.
And you don't think right, and you know, if the drugs don't kill you, the people around you will. It's a dirty world, man, and people that are in that world, you need to get out of it. You know, if you got drug addictions, there's somebody out there to help you. Stick with the weed and drink you a couple beers here and there, and I think you'll be all right. You know, that's the bad thing when you get caught up in this drug life is people, like, they'll rob you. They get hard up for drugs, and they'll kill you for your drugs, you know, and just
shit's crazy.
That's the quick way to die. Is that whole life, you know? I've seen I just seen horrible things what drugs have done. You know, just horrible. But look, I appreciate you calling in, and hopefully tomorrow there's some big news that drops. I heard that Baby Lisa, before you go, says by Monday there's going to be some really big news that drops on this case.
I hope they arrest him. I hope they find him, but I think they're going to find him dead. I don't think he's dumb enough to, you know, let them catch him alive. I just don't. If he's still in the swamp, he's dead, and if he goes, I don't know. I just don't feel like he's in the Appalachian Trail either. I don't think he's smart enough. I think he thinks he is, but he just ain't.
He just ain't. All right, man. Till next time.
Appreciate you.
Peace.
Bye.
All right. So, I don't know. Like, you know, his sister said, or maybe they're downplaying it, you know, because he might be in there and they don't want him to look. You know, he's just a backpacker at the most. He's not a survivalist. He's a camper. Yeah, he could go out there camping, but could he live off the land? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? And like his sister said, more than a few days at a time out there, you know. But then again, there's people out here that seem to think the man Brian Laundrie is a damn serial killer, okay? The police may be playing the father. I don't know what's really going on. You know, we're going to have to let some of it play out. You know, we're trying to get the moves as they're happening, but sometimes you got to let a move play out and see the next move so you can understand the last move. I really don't know the move in bringing the father in. I don't know what that move was. that a couple callers ago, he had the best clue, I thought. Maybe they're doing something to put a tracker on his truck, a bug in him. That's the best thing I've heard on it. Like, why, just wrapping my mind around it. I don't know that move yet. I don't know where that piece of the puzzle quite fits on the puzzle board. So I need to see a little bit more to know where to put that piece of the puzzle. You know what I'm saying? The puzzle piece is there. It's on the board. We've seen it. Dad's in the reserve. So we got that piece, but I just don't know where it fits. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Because it's just a big puzzle. Every day you get a little clue, a little Easter egg, a little hint. You know what I'm saying? And each piece that we add to the puzzle is going to make a picture. And then once that picture is filled in, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for them. Okay, and like I do every night, because I'm not going to be here much longer with you guys. If you're brand new to the room, and this is your very first time coming to this channel, I want you to press 1 in the chat room so I can welcome you. And all you guys that have returned, thank you guys. And everybody that's liked the video, if you haven't, take a moment. It's free. It don't cost you nothing to like the video. If you want to donate to the channel, help support, keep it going, there's the super chat. There's also # Jamz TV on the Cash App. And we have a merch store, and the link to all that is in the description box down below. Misty, it's nice to meet you. Cole, very nice to meet you. Thank you guys for taking the time to click on my video and look at my ugly ass face. I really appreciate it. If you're super cool, man, sub up the channel. And like I said, it's nice meeting you guys. Let's see who else we got new in here. JG. Christy, second time, third time. Thank you guys. Thank you. That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Y'all must have, bad eyesight. You can't see his face. You know what I'm saying? You should have got away the first time when you left. Been like, man, I'm just playing. But thank you guys so much. STK, thank you for coming by. Andrea says it's her second time, third time. Okay, thank you guys. Y'all are awesome. So, like I said, tomorrow I work 2 to 10. I'll be back tomorrow night. Same bat channel, same bat time, right? Cliche as that is, right? But then I'm off the next 3 days, and we're gonna be changing some things up, shaking and baking. Okay, and hopefully, like Baby Lisa said, like I don't know if y'all caught that when I was talking to the caller. Baby Lisa said there's going to be some news that drops. And I guess this is something to do with what Dog has gave the FBI. But she seems to think there's going to be some big news that breaks in this case around Monday. So y'all guys, if maybe she's right. Maybe, you never know. If she is, I'll be like, yeah, damn, Baby Lisa on point, right? But if not, oh well, But that's just what she's saying. And like I say every night for last week, hopefully we wake up tomorrow, turn on the news, and Brian Laundrie is in jail. A lot of people believe that is justice for Gabby. I'd rather turn on the news and watch, the police shoot him, beat him with something, shoot him again, harpoon him, and all that good stuff, but don't kill him. Right? Torture him slowly. Maybe not. I don't know. But at least if he goes to jail, that is some justice. Not perfect justice for me, but it's still some justice. What's up, man? 2 true dip reviews. What's up, dip? I don't chew dip, so never been my thing. I used to smoke. I have stopped smoking. I think I'm on like 4 or 5 months now. I haven't smoked a cigarette. Right? I'm proud of myself. I smoked every day for like 10 years, like a couple packs of cigarettes a day. And I was able to up and quit. And I'm glad I saved so much money not smoking, man. Cigarettes are getting expensive. So if you're a smoker out there, hey, save yourself some money. Quit. It's hard. Cigarette is like super addictive. I don't care what anybody says to all my smokers out there, because there's like 250, 300 of you guys with me still. And y'all still awake? Green tea, we always awake. This is the Somniac channel, is what it should be called. Instead of Dolly Vision Jamz TV, it should be a Somnia Vision, because we always been rocking late since the very beginning of this. But like I said, I'm off the next 3 days after tomorrow. And then so I'll be able to bring y'all some stuff during the day. And then maybe some of these night streams might run over into the AM and stuff like that. You guys be good. You guys be safe, right? That's real important these days to say that. Hug your loved ones. Nobody, and I mean nobody, no matter how much money you got, what color, anything is promised tomorrow. Okay? Nobody is. So be grateful when you wake up and the sun is shining, or if it's raining, still be grateful. Just be glad you're here. All right. If you're in a domestic balance relationship, you got to get out of it. You don't want to end up like Gabby or thousands of other girls across the country that end up dead. Or if you're a dude, you don't want to get stabbed in your neck while you're sleeping with a fork. Okay. Because it's not a pleasant feeling. I've never really been stabbed with a fork, but I did get stabbed in the leg with a knife. Okay. And that wasn't pleasant. Okay. I imagine it kind of similar to a fork. I don't know. Right. I don't want to test it. You know, I'm thinking it would be about the same. But you don't want to be that dude, right, that wakes up with a butcher knife in your chest, right, and your wife standing over you talking about, why was you on Facebook talking to this chick, right, from 71 when you went to high school with her. It happens, right? So if anybody's in anything like that, run, right? You don't want to get stabbed, okay? You think I'm lying and making these stories up. Sometimes the world is crazier than anything you could ever humanly make up. Until next time, guys, which will be tomorrow night, midnight, Eastern Standard Time. I know a lot of you guys are watching from around the world, and y'all don't know what the hell time that is. I just know it's Eastern Standard Time around midnight. We be live. If you don't get the notice, just tune in, and I will see you guys there. Peace.